I forget, because I was supposed to do something for a school assignment and record it because someone didn't show up and I just forgot to hit record.
Oh,
So
fascinating.
it's recording, so we're good.
Um,
But yeah, what
I
do
would
y'all
say
want to
maybe,
focus on with
like,
this?
how to best play around our comp. I think recently we've been struggling with, like, the tempo, like, the speed at which we play with each other, or, like, also just, like, our
Can you define
coordination in
tempo?
general has been lacking. Like, I guess, like, our pace at which we push together, because I think that we're a bit off in that, like,
So are you
sometimes they
talking
go, like,
tempo?
one or pardon?
I want to clarify. Are you talking pace or are you talking how in sync you are with each other?
I think
Because
tempo. I think tempo is better because we have different on and off beats than the rest of us. It's like we're all metronomes
granted,
and we're
I don't like the term tempo, to be honest. It's just very confusing for a lot of people. I get where you're coming from. It sounds like it's more a pace thing.
I think pace and
I don't
coordinates.
know. I don't necessarily agree with calling it pace because I feel like we generally play at the same pace. It's just
Then
that
how in sync y'all
once
are with each
things
other.
get
Like, once you're fighting, how in sync
yeah,
are you with intents? Um,
yeah,
oh
which
fuck, I
I
forgot
think
to pass
tempo
for y'all
fits
for
better.
comms. That would be interesting to hear with this. Oh well.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
I
sweat it.
have
Don't sweat it.
we have this one uploaded, and then we have ours. Someone uploaded it from today, right, Rainy or Makwa? Maybe
I haven't done it yet.
Makwa.
I haven't recorded. Well, I haven't uploaded it either, but I can do that right now.
Don't sweat it. It more so
Did
was
bug
a
outs?
going into this. It would have been nice to have heard comms, just because I'm a nerd for comms. I enjoy talking about them. Um, Anyways, so I'm gonna do the same thing that I do with all other teams. I'm gonna play this out. I just want to watch what's happening, and then I'll look back over it and start pointing some stuff out. Because I do not know how y'all play, and I don't want to give anything biased. Let's see. It's fine. First thing that I can definitely notice is it feels it feels weird to say this, but it feels like y'all don't know where you're wanting to fight. Like, I can tell the direction you're trying to fight, and I can tell that you want to fight, but like, how far up are you willing to go for the fight? Because like, try, you're going super far in, and your team just cannot, or the rest of y'all can't help.
Yeah, that's why I back off because I can't fight the dynamo.
Yeah, and I'm not blaming you on this. It's more so I'm noticing there's a disconnect there.
Well, typically I stop behind that block to get them to shoot at me, so top mid opens, so that Rainy and Makwa can push through there.
I gotcha.
That's why I don't fully go in. Yeah.
Like, I'm not worrying about the reasoning for it, more so just observing. Let's see. This is fine. I'm curious, how well planned are y'all's retakes and pushes and openings and stuff?
Relatively, like I think that typically, like general plan, like general rule of thumb is I drop opposite, and then everybody else pushes with like Makwa and Rainy push with the shield. Bogos shoots in that general direction, and I stall on the opposite side.
How often do you find the side that you're going?
What do you mean?
Like, what side of the map are you going? How often do you find that? Because if your team is going split from you, or do you always just take the same path over and over?
I tend to take the same path, but it kind of depends. Like on this map, if we're getting like if I keep on getting camped right side, then I drop left, but that doesn't matter because it's like I'm not going through main essentially, like the main route that they'd be pushing. So I'm going anywhere but the main route. Whereas my
I
team is
gotcha.
gonna push through the main route. Yeah.
I'm still just asking because that's a big thing that I think is they can probably help some stuff with this. I'm gonna watch like 30 more seconds of this, and then I'll start going over some stuff. Let's see if that's fine. Also, I have to say, utmost respect for staying in and taking this fight. So many pens just back off like a coward. I respect the shit out of you for that.
Oh, the bow goat does not back down.
Look, I'm just saying, I respect the shit out of you for it. Okay. I think I have enough stuff to go with. And I want to ask something, because this will dictate some of the stuff that I'm talking about. What pace do y'all want to play at? Or do you just want the advice that I have, and you'll just filter it through however you want to play? Because I can give some advice, but...
This is kind of where I don't really know how to respond when you say pace.
Okay.
Because I think it would be best if we kind of used I don't think anchor is the right word, but we kind of center our play around where I am, because that's where a lot of the resources are going to go. So it kind of depends how fast I can get to a place.
Fair. I just ask because I have the perspective of I'm a fucking H-dive player. I kind of wrote the book. So I'm biased, and it covers a lot of the stuff that I can focus on with review. I'll keep that in mind. Also, just because I'm not used to voices to weapons, I assume you play tent considering what y'all have described.
Yes,
Okay.
I am the tents player.
Okay. That's what I figured, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
You're probably mostly going to hear me and Chai talk. It's
That's
probably
fine.
mostly just going to be us
Just
too, so...
figuring out voices.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some of what I want to talk about is like this, because this is what I was noticing at the start. It's not even that I hate this, because like I can see something like this or going all the way behind. I have no idea how viable this is for rush and focusing team scale. So if this goes against anything on a micro level, don't worry about it so much. But doing something like this to open up time and speed for this, and if your goal is just getting in on an opening, because like on opening, what are you trying to do as a team, not individually? Like, is your goal win the opening fight? Is it to push them back? Is it to get resources? Is it to burn
My
time?
goal, as far as I'm aware, the goal that at least I'm playing for, is to secure that spine area. I want to make sure that we have that, because that defines a lot of how the rest of the game will play. I
Can
don't
ask
necessarily want to, like why I want the spine so much.
Yeah, because like, sorry, this is me just being a nerd because I'm going off of this because I'm assuming from how stuff has been described, Try in general is playing the opposite side of y'all. So like, if you're going mid or going left, Try probably will take a similar path to this. Because if all you're wanting to do is make sure that Spine can't do anything, you and Makwa can go through here. And, like that literally leaves only this tiny area that can't be hit by Blaster AoE. With the benefit of
So
you're
you're saying
forcing them
take the
back.
left zone?
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying you need to, but I'm asking why. Like, what about top mid, or like why not this in particular? Like,
I think there are two main reasons why I've stopped going on the left side. And the first one is it's a lot easier to push someone off of the top than it is away from the side. And also that's not one of the points. I got a bit sidetracked. The first reason and the most relevant to me is that it's going to be a lot harder for me to get there at a relevant time.
is it?
Because a lot of weapons in the game I don't know if this team specifically they don't have a lot of fast weapons, but I notice a lot of people love to just take it's kind of like Chai's opening. They're just there. And then once they're there, if I commit too much to that, I guess it's kind of like an awareness issue on my part that I can't adapt to that. But I find a lot of the time it's harder for me to get set up on that left side off of rollout than it is for me to get set up on the top. And the second one, and more towards like how I actually want to play, less so me being like, oh, this happened, so I'm not going to do it, is more if we have control of that top area, then we have pretty good control of no matter where the fight ends up taking place. And I can pretty swiftly make my way over to Chai, because Chai usually always takes a fight right there. And so if we end up like having an advantage right there, I can move over there a lot more swiftly than I can on the left side. And a lot of the time, our comp does like to play for the pinch, so going from the left and pinching with Chai on the right side would like I would still like to do that, but I find more success being able to set up faster because we also that's one of the things like with tempo that we were talking about is like the Chai's upbeat is a lot faster than it happens like a lot earlier than mine a lot of the time, especially off rollout, because Chai can get there way faster than I can on the left side, and then that just kind of causes one of us to get caught out, and if we're not super careful about it.
Yeah, that's something that actually made Akira talk about a lot in this game is that I engaged way too early, which leads me to die early, and then they focus Rainy and take out Rainy when in these cases, especially against this comp here, I can't actually just run in. I have to play for them to shoot at me so then Rainy and Mako can go in.
I can
But that
agree
means
with
matching
either
your
of
guys'
them.
speed.
I can agree with either of those because like there's two things that you can like. The reason I'm asking is I don't hate the idea of top mid. Like, if me like asking left side was conveying that, that's not what I really don't care. Um, the main reason I bring it up is if you're wanting to go through, if you're wanting to launch shield like this, because the way that I like, if you want to go the other way, out to here, you go this path instead of the path you do, and it does get you there roughly the same time. I'm not gonna say it's the exact same, but it's roughly. Which isn't terrible if you're getting some stuff with setup, and it's not terrible if you're trying to live. Um, just the big thing is you're staying here and you're launching your shield, which now you literally cannot sync up your pace with Chai.
Mhm.
And you can say, oh, well, Chai should be over here and waiting, which,
I don't agree with that. I think Chai needs to be far forward.
yeah. I,
Actually, well, Akira says I should be waiting because I
Oh,
cannot fight the
I
dynamo
mean,
or I cannot fight the
yeah,
like. I'm just gonna get
I'm not
annihilated if
saying
I
you have
peek
to
that corner.
take the fight, but like rotating to here, drawing attention. You can wait here, rotate back, swing as soon as, or rotate as soon as you see the swing. Like the thing is, you have the highest, like you can move the fastest on your team. The big thing that's happening is you're launching tent shield, which is cutting off your pace. Because this is why I prefer talking about pace. I know tempo works. We're probably talking about a similar thing. Here's the issue with tent shield. That's a terrible fucking line. Sorry, that was gonna piss me off. So let's say this is the pace that you can go out with tent shield in or in 6 seconds. Because that's just, let's say your shield doesn't die. This is how far you can go. Brush can go this far. I know that's not quite. No,
Mhm.
that is actually pretty damn accurate.
It is.
The issue you're running into is you're launching shield here. Like if you notice the shield here, you're saying, okay, I'm only going to move this far. So let me swap my color real quick. So you're basically saying, okay, from here, I'm going to go to here in the span of 6 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with the position and the angle at which I sent my shield. I usually do send it like on the right side of mid. Um,
If you take right side of mid, this
that's
play makes more
like
sense. Like,
I think I expected them to be up there faster.
Mhm.
So I thought like it was more imminent for me to take care of somebody that's coming up from the left side. Which I know like that's still just a skill issue on my part, like better awareness. I gotta be checking
that's
my
not
map
it.
and I gotta be checking like where people are a bit, like just going to do that a bit faster. But I
I'll be
think that's
honest.
why I sent my shield that way.
Fair. I'll be honest. I think you kind of just trusting your gut on that is fine. I do the same thing. It's more so like, I think something that you're gonna have to figure out is what are you wanting to do in regards to having tent brush? Because tent brush is a very strong combo. I say that because I've played both. Like I've played brush before my fingers decided they just wanted to fucking die, and I've played tent for almost the entirety of you playing competitive Splatoon 3, or at least
How long
seriously
has that
playing it.
been?
Um, because if you're wanting to play tent and you're wanting to sync up with brush over here, right? You're wanting to use your shield here or somewhere in a spot like there or here. At least if Trey's gonna play in a spot like this.
I actually there's been a little bit of talk about this recently of changing up how we play on this map. I've been more considering starting up on the left side and having Mako like go up the top. Um
I don't
kind of
hate
for
that.
like similar
I think
reasons
that
to what
works.
you're
Yeah.
talking about, because what that kind of plays to what we want to do with the tent brush, because tent brush is
Mhm.
really good at getting some pinches in, and that's kind of what happens there, because they can't really safely take the top mid because there's a blaster just shooting at them, and then there's the tent from underneath them. They're gonna have to look at the brush, and then like we pinched from both the right and the left side, and we
Mhm.
have kind of like that top cleared. I feel like that might play a bit more into how we want to play. It's just a matter of like I guess in this case this was a set. I didn't want to try anything new.
I get you. I'm just going with what I can see now and observe. Because
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I'm gonna question just at the start when looking through this, we can talk about it. Um, do you know the difference with tent shield of using tent to get in and using tent to fight? In particular, the
Yeah.
shield, not the shotgun. Because there's two different ways
Yeah.
you can use shield. Do you know the differences and why they matter? Because this goes for your entire team, by the way. This is like this is the foundational question
I
that dictates how your comp works. So
I definitely have like an understanding of the difference, and a lot of the I think an issue that me and Mako run into is that I recognize the difference. I don't call it. I don't know if that's an issue or not, but Mako doesn't know when I'm just sending my shield out for like just as like an object on the map, or like I don't think Mako necessarily knows what the intent of my shields are all the time,
so I'm
which
gonna
isn't
post
like
something
that's not Mako's
funny.
fault.
Um, I don't think Mako is the main person who needs to know what you're trying to do with your shield. It's Shy.
Yeah,
Because
I can see that.
realize Shy can't see what you're doing over here. Unless I'm wrong, Shy, do you have some
Mhm.
sixth sense? Are you playing with the map permanently open? If you
Oh,
are,
I
matter
never
of
know what they're
respect.
doing. It's a common joke that nobody knows what I'm doing, and I don't know what they're doing. Well, I kind of do. I know where you are, but like,
You have a general idea, but you don't know what's happening, which makes sense.
yeah,
That's what
I
you'd
can't. Yeah, I
expect.
just can't see them. Like, I know what's going on, but I just can't. Like, I
Yeah,
can't see them. You know what I mean?
like I think that's the big thing that I'm noticing, at least on opening, and I was noticing further in. I'm not gonna focus too hard on some of the other stuff that I'll see, or at least I'll try not to, because I think that's the big thing. Because like, if you're playing with, try playing at a faster pace, which is totally fine. You'll have to figure out your own pace that you want to play at. I'm not going to say anything there. There has to be a balance between Rain and Shy. Both of you need to have a balance of calling what you're trying to do, so the other knows how to play for it. Because if one is trying to play to get the team in, the other has to be playing for force, and vice versa. Which I
Yeah, I
don't
think
think
that
that's
like
being
that's
called.
part of our issue that we saw in our set today. I was complaining a little bit about it. The constant
Mhm.
complainer that I am was that I'm drawing a lot of attention, but we just don't have like the what is it the foresight that when I was drawing attention that it was time to push. And
Yeah.
similar like when we were, I think that we were also like kind of struggling with like the opposite, where like what is it when it was like time to go, we were, or no, the opposite, sorry, when it wasn't time to go. So they're like two down and we just would run head first and die. And so it's like, I think that the, what is it? That kind of an issue there with like
That makes
knowing
sense.
what to do and when.
I call stuff like that is in the middle of a set when I'm not entirely when I don't have access to like overhead and I don't have like a complete understanding of what happened in a game. I usually just call that like conflicting interest, because to me a lot of the time it just feels like we want to do different things with what's going on
I
in
mean,
on the map at any
I
given moment.
I agree with that, and I disagree with it. Because here's why I disagree with it. At the end of the day, all that matters is you running the game, right? If you can give out more information, someone can see something and act on it. Because it doesn't, like, if nothing can happen, it's just called, hey, we can't act on this yet. Like, unless you are literally calling useless things like, oh, there's teleporting, and like just complaining and not giving anything meaningful, I don't really think there is such a thing as overcalling. Um,
Oh, you've not heard Mischievous Mog, bro. That fucking I was in their set and I could not call out a single thing because everybody was like, "There's someone on snipe. There's pencil on snipe," and I'm like, "No shit, bro. No
okay,
shit."
okay, at a certain point, you're just saying information that's already known. That's just calling useless information, but it's still not bad information. Like,
I
I
try
have
to not call things that can be readily seen on the UI.
I disagree with that. That's a personal bias. I get where you're
Something I
coming.
think special calling is fine, but like genuinely, if
Yeah.
one of my if somebody calls out there's like a pencil on snipe, like bruh, I got my own two eyes.
I mean,
You know what I mean? It's like I like to I personally like calling out intention versus
yes,
like
no, you absolutely should be
position.
calling intention. I still think calling position is helpful, and the reason I
Oh yeah,
disagree with
position's good.
if it's just, oh yeah, if someone can see it, don't call it. I'd still say call it, because if someone's like thinking of something and trying to figure out their own intention, sometimes they just don't see it. Like,
If I'm usually okay at recognizing that. Like a lot of the time, I'll recognize that Makwa probably isn't aware of the position they're in, and then I'll call it.
mhm,
Um, but I'd rather try to focus to see if my comms can be more proactive.
mhm, which I agree with that, but I don't think those are mutually exclusive, if that makes sense.
I
I
don't
say
think so
just
either. I
just
just don't I just don't think that like I try to have priority. I, I how do I say this? I try to prioritize like getting us on the same page with
Mhm.
my comms rather than just giving information.
Fair. I'm not gonna focus too much on comms because I think we're probably gonna have slightly different perspectives, which makes sense. I'm coming from being a shot caller for like 5 years. Um, I have my own biases. Anyways, so I'm gonna get back to the review since we've gone little. Still, it's valuable to talk about. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Also, big thing again because I do think what I was hitting on earlier of like Rainey, the pace that you two are playing at is gonna matter. Um, and like what your intent is in making sure it's clear. Because like I think in this case you were trying to draw attention. The thing is, Rainy in this spot, like what you're doing is you're using shield to get in, which is drawing attention.
Mhm.
You're not using it to fight.
Mhm.
So it makes this really weird middle ground where yes, the enemy team can't comfortably get past here, but you can't either, if that makes any
Oh,
sense.
Oh.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh, you cut out a little bit, but we got the
Of
tail
course.
end.
Okay.
I think it made sense.
Yeah, if I cut out if I cut out, just tell me. Sometimes that just happens. Yeah,
oh,
like
don't worry, I get it. Usually around this time of year, around this time of night, my internet just sometimes gets completely cut, and I don't know what's going on. Anyway, continue.
yeah, like y'all can't really go past here, and the enemy team is going to force up to that. Because something that I like to bring up, and I think this is something you'll probably have figured out just from Tent with overflow once shield breaks. Um, but if you're making it clear, hey, I'm wanting to do something, you're putting force out, right? You're putting this much force. The enemy team doesn't want you to go forward, and they're going to put this much force onto you, right? Uh, so fun question. What happens if you stop applying force in one spot? So like in this case, let's say try
They
you
can
back
just
off.
take it.
Yes, their force
Yeah.
doesn't disappear, and that's what happens here. I know that y'all technically win opening because like you get to score a little bit, but that it's a pyrrhic victory. Like the big thing that happened here is if you notice, you have one person. Why am I stuck on my eraser? Thank you, Epic Pen. Like you have one person wanting to go forward, and then Chai, you're backing off. Because like the big thing
Mhm.
that's going to happen, especially if you're going to be playing to pinch in setup plays like that, you two have to be in sync. Because like Makwa, you're trying to push forward here. This is good. I agree with this play. The issue is Chai. I feel you're probably needed here for this play to be successful. Because all you can imagine here from the enemy side is Dynamo can swing forward, or it can fall back a little bit, and you just can't fight on top.
Mm.
Like being so far back makes it so you just leave a gap for the team. I won't comment much on your end. How the fuck are you supposed to pronounce that? I want to say Bagos, but I am
Bogos, as in
Bogos.
go with
Okay,
me.
okay. So
Like
no, I get it. Just my brain sometimes does not. Like in this case, I'm not. I can't say much because I'm not a pen player, and how people want to play around pen changes. I would say if you can try to position up to bit further up, because it does feel like what's happening. Like this is just going to be what I'm predicting from what I've seen of this in from other games. I think what's happening is you have like a central force of okay, we're going to try to push. One side's going to be backing off. Like in this case, it's Yushai. You're backing off because the intent that like for the team isn't crystal clear, and then another side is kind of left open. And I think you can cover that, Bogos, but I can't comment too much because again, I don't know what you're fishing for.
there's been discussion that pen doesn't really fit our comp too much. Like it's good,
Eh,
and Bogus is an awesome pen player, but like hypothetically, if we were to have a heavy or a ballpoint, then it might be better.
the question is, you
Red
want to make pen
pen.
work, not that pen doesn't work on this comp. Because I think
I
pen
think I
works
do.
just like
I want Bogus on pen.
because I think I'll be honest, I think pen can do just as well as most anchors. Until you start picking up the pace in like H type territory, it doesn't matter. All of the anchors are about equal as long as you're willing to play it that way. Um, like it does take some changes, but I'll be honest, if y'all want to commit with pen, y'all can do some fucked up shit. Because, like, okay, we're just gonna have Tent go here on opening. Makua, you can go through top. The reason this is important is you're covering right side. You can help Chai on opening like this. And if anything happens over here, Bogos, if you're playing here, this shuts down the entirety of left zone. And right zone is covered by S-Blast and Brush, which is really fucking impressive. And if you're wanting to play at a faster pace, which is what I believe you said, Chai, when we were first messaging, is that y'all want to play a faster pace than the norm, not...
Well, not really necessarily faster, but I think that we need to play for the same goal or like the same. Like I feel like because I come from like we're generally like quite a new team. I come from a team who played very, very fast, and so I'm having to slow down for Tent. And I think that I'm not necessarily used to playing that slow, whereas I don't think Rainey's maybe used to
Yeah.
playing this fast. And so we're
It's
kind of in this
literally
in between.
Chai's coming from Killer Blues, which played really fast, and I'm coming from Turn Left, which has been called a molasses comp.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That would explain this desync. If you want, Rainy, I can help you with this.
Yeah.
I can help you with this because hi, I'm probably the fastest 10.
Yeah. No, I'm familiar. I just have a bit of beef with you because you turned me down that one time.
What? Huh?
Sure.
When?
I asked you to play in a collegiate pickup, and you're just like, no.
No.
I don't even fucking remember that. I'm gonna be honest.
I do, and you stinky.
Rainey's crying right now.
Yeah. This is fine. I think y'all know what's going on here already. Like, I think the big thing is, at some point I need to hear y'all's comms. I think, because
Not great.
We have them for this one. We have them for this. Rainy should have it up, I think.
Yeah, it's
I don't. I don't upload mine for like a month. I'm pretty bad at it.
I'll get the link.
Appreciate it. It shouldn't take too long because I listen to shit at way faster paces than most people do. But yeah.
I don't think our comms are very good across the board. Hold on. Do you want me to DM it to you?
Yeah, just DM it to me.
Yeah.
I think our comms could be better. I don't think they're that bad, but I think they could be better. I think we also have the problem of not listening to each other. It has not changed from John Blast.
Is this what's important right now? Can we go back to the scrim?
That's something.
Y'all have like a minute to do whatever the fuck. Cause I need to listen to your comms for a second. So yes. I'm not gonna try to control the chaos. Y'all can do whatever.
But what was I gonna say? Our comms could probably be better.
Oh, stop it.
To be fair, I've not met a team whose comms I wouldn't say can't be better, but I also have absurdly high
everything can be better all the time.
I think though this is significantly better than my last team's comms.
Oh yeah.
It was only me calling out. So we're in a good.
No, okay. That's another thing that me and Chai are coming from completely different backgrounds. On Killer Blues, Chai would be the only one calling out, and on Turn Left, I can't hear my own thoughts.
Also, here, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna deafen real quick so I can hear y'all's comms.
Alright.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna be rambling into the mic because OBS can still be picking me up, and I'm just gonna listen and say what I'm thinking. Okay, that's fine. Let me actually listen to my music again. And let me go and deafen real quick.
Oh yeah, dude, yes, please do.
Sorry, it took me a second longer than I thought. YouTube was being slow. At least on opening, it feels like y'all are good at calling what you're doing, not what you're wanting to do in the next play and within like the next 3 seconds. Which I know those are really hard things to get used to calling, but like, I think if you're wanting to play a comp like this, it's non-negotiable.
I do it way more than the rest of the team does. I know. I don't think I do it. I keep telling myself every scrim like I'm gonna work on actually giving direction, instead of just position.
Why do I have a hunch
and
I'm gonna send y'all the fucking video that the 30-minute video I made on columns? Dear God. Sorry, that's not. Because like, if y'all want to
what
work
was
on
I saying?
comms, you were saying you want to do practice sessions and focus on giving direction more than just calling what you're doing. My thing with that is just make it a team practice session. Don't make it just a thing that you're doing by yourself. That makes it so much harder on you.
I agree that it would be great if everybody had that skill set, but something that I've been doing is this is something that I took from Turn Left, is that every time that we have a scrim, I give a personal goal to myself and I encourage everybody else to do the same.
Again, not saying that's a terrible thing, but like working on calls like that is something that I found is easier to learn as a team. Like, I'm saying that because I've taught multiple teams how to call, and the thing with calls is if you're trying to learn to call doing something new while your team is calling like normal, you have 3 people calling like normal versus the one you. Like, it's so easy to fall back into, oh, okay, well, everyone else is playing like normal. Like, there's literally state-dependent learning and expression. That's a thing. It's a bitch.
Now, fortunately, I got an A in logical reasoning, so that doesn't. I don't fall for that too easily.
State-dependent.
Actually, I'm pretty smart.
State-dependent learning and expression. I don't think logical reasoning helps you there much. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I think it does actually.
Do you know what state-dependent learning is?
No.
I can gauge. I think. I don't think it's too hard to. I don't think it's
tell
too
me.
hard
I'm curious. What do you think it is?
It's hold on, let me find the words. Okay. So it's kind of like when let's use me as an example, right? So like I'm uh I'm trying to say like study for an exam in a room, right? And I recognize that the people around me are being kind of a nuisance, right? And so that's just kind of what I'm familiar with as me being Ranny. And then I'm just like, okay, guys, I need to lock the fuck in. But the condition that I'm in, is just like, actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to.
I do regret to inform that's not what state-dependent learning is.
Unfortunately.
I'm coming from psychology to explain. I will give the example that we get in class. If you learn drunk, you're gonna remember better drunk. So there's all sorts of stuff.
Getting drunk right now.
I have vodka in the fridge.
I'm not saying you'll have to do that, but like it's just the example given. So it's kind of the thing of you remember in the state that you learn something in. So if you learn in a if you learn in a busy area where there's a lot of sound, you're gonna remember better in a busy area with a lot of sound compared to in an area that isn't. The reason that matters is if you're trying to do with calls, you can see where that gets hard. Because you're going to be able to remember and perform better.
So it's kind of like I'm coming from a biology background. So it's kind of like I'm an enzyme. And the team that I'm playing with is the pH of my environment.
Sure, Rainy.
I killed the PC.
I can't. No, you're fine. I can't comment on that really. Sorry, I also got pinged. Here, if you give me till after, I can grab you a link because I made like a 15-minute ramble on state-dependent learning because that shit is important. But yeah, don't worry about that. Sorry, you're stuck with the psych major. I'm a fucking nerd.
You're stuck with the biology major. Nobody likes us.
Y'all are fine.
No, you think. Just wait until we start talking about fucking bilateral gynodermorphism.
Chief, you realize I need to work with neuropsych at some point, right? Like, I'm fine working with biology. Y'all are fine.
Oh, I'm a different field. I'm ecology and evolution.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience around that, so I can't comment.
Completely different field.
I don't want to sit here. Also, again, I feel like I should point this out. again, notice, like, I think the big thing that y'all are running into is, like, you have these different paces that you can go, or, like, this much space you can cover in, like, 6 seconds, and you just aren't playing around it. Because, like, this is a boring thing. I'm curious just because I can use terms to make my life easier. How many of y'all have read the doc that I put out on fundamentals? If y'all
Not
haven't, that's
enough.
fine. Fuck.
I haven't. I thought it was funny because I gave a coaching lesson to somebody, to one of my friends who's just getting into comp. Like the day that you released that, I gave them a coaching session on fundamentals of Splatoon. So I
We
haven't
love
read it,
gods.
but I thought that was funny.
Okay. So a concept that I found is helpful, especially in review, is the idea of thresholds. Long story short, there are spots on the map that as soon as you cross through it, it opens up a lot of the map and it makes it easier to keep pushing. There's a few other stuff with it. TLDR, you want to cross through thresholds and you don't want to be fighting in thresholds. There's some stuff with that, right? And there's a threshold here.
It's like that. It's like the corner on Humpback.
Yes. Elbow on Humpback is a literal threshold. It's a major threshold. It's actually the stage I use to explain thresholds.
Right. It is the example.
The reason I bring it up is I think if y'all take some time and look like try just fucking around with figuring out where thresholds are, it can be very beneficial to y'all. Because like in this case, let's say you get out of a threshold, Rainy, you can just go forward, you can shield through here, cool. You can get through to here in like 6 seconds, you can get somewhere in this general area, and then Chaya, same threshold, you rotate all the way around. In 6 seconds, you're getting to roughly here, and now you're setting up a pinch with each other. Because you can kind of use thresholds as okay, this is a spot where the team is more or less in sync. We can use that. Because I think what'll help y'all is more so focusing on what can we do to stay in sync, and some stuff with that compared to just let me use every other trick that can work in this regard. Because there's a lot of other tricks you can use. Like you can just use okay, let me just practice. Like let me just practice for hours and hours and just get there. Because it's a way you can do it. I don't like brute force approaches like that. You can do calls. Calls are
It's
going
like
to take a lot.
Minecraft punching a tree.
I'm not sure about that, but I understand the analogy. Or at least I think I do. The other thing you can do is like focusing on calls. Calls can help. The issue with calls is I found they take like a month or two to get stable. Like learning to call differently is a bitch. And I say that as someone who does it all the time. Like it's not fun to learn. So I think using thresholds would probably help y'all a decent bit. Because yeah, like the big thing that I'm noticing is y'all are getting out of sync because of Tent Shield, I think. Like I'm gonna let this play out compared to pausing quite as much and talking about some stuff because yeah, we've been rambling a bit. I'm not complaining. Rambles are good. Like dropping here, this makes sense. It definitely does feel like for the rest of y'all besides Chai, y'all are going up as far as the Tent Shield is. If I'm wrong, please tell me, but that's definitely what it looks like. We try to say that's an issue, but that's coming from personal bias. If y'all are wanting to do that, that's fine. It just really puts pressure on Urani to be really impactful with your tent shields and making sure they aren't going to slow the team down.
I've been learning to move a bit more forward before I launch my shield.
How comfortable are you playing shieldless?
I mean, considering the state of Splatoon 3 right now, I'd say I play shieldless half the time anyway.
I would disagree with that. I know where you're coming from, but I'm also asking because learning to play shieldless in comp is valuable because you can use that notice, okay, Chai's in this position, we know what we're wanting to do as a team, now I can launch my shield. Because at least from what I'm seeing so far in this game, it almost looks like it's just it's kind of just random if y'all are in sync or not. And you kind of rely on the enemy team to mess up hard like this. Like credit where it's due, insane mechanics to get the squad Aqua, but like that's a crutch. So you have to get a quad to get out. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I shouldn't have hit like more than 2 of them. I'm not gonna lie.
No, your mechanics were correct. Your mechanics are good. It's more so as a team, y'all should be able to get out without needing that. And then here again, if you're noticing, you're going up as far as Tent Shield. Good stamp, that's fine. You can sync up with this. I like this push. It's just I wish y'all were like Bogo's Rainy. I wish both of you were a little further up with this. I know why you're back here. You're using Azuka. This makes some sense. But if you want to commit forward with this and you're gonna commit Tent Shield and Stamp, just full commit in on this. Because the reason this fails, because I remember that this fails, is because you don't commit in here. So this ends up with a disconnect. So like in this case, Try, you get trapped, you die here, that's fine. Rainy, you try to go in, you try to help with this. Bia comes out, and now there's a divide. And now Bia just actually cuts the team in half. Like, if you are wanting to commit something with Tent Shield, it has to be communicated and fully acted on, I think. It's kind of why I know it's boring, but I think calls is probably one of the easiest things that y'all can do to really improve stuff. Like, where are you going? What are you wanting to do? What are you wanting to do 3 seconds from now? And working with your team and responding to those calls, because listening to calls is just as hard. And if y'all think I'm wrong or want me to add more, tell me. Because for some teams, advice just doesn't sound right, and I'm happy to work around that.
Mm.
This is fine. I do wish, like, I think here's kind of another spot where you can see it. Like, in this case, you can why do you do this epic pen? Why do you shrink down to nothing? Whatever. Like Mako, in this case, you can rotate in if you know Bogus is going to be getting forced in. The call is, I want to fight right side. Because like in this case, Bogus, you're trying to take the fight instead of just running back, which I respect it. I think it's the correct play. It's just acted on a little slow.
Makes
'Cause,
sense.
I'm looking at this, and I think y'all have good ideas. Like, I want to be explicit. I think y'all do have good ideas, and you understand most of what's going on. I think the issue is you aren't communicating on that, and you're relying on the enemy team needing to mess up compared to being able to get something by yourself. Like this, raining on your end. This is good. Like, what I'd like to see here, because you're kind of using shield to get in. You're not trying to use it to fight. You're using it to get in. So you're going to get up to here. And you're not going to get much further. That's fine. Call that and ask, hey, can we push the right side? Or push the top mid? Because if you do that, this is really impactful, because suddenly there's a shit ton of force coming through right side, and the enemy team is just forced to keep going back to here or here, really. I guess if they really wanted to as well, they can rotate back to here, but this is just as dangerous for them. Like, in doing one play and calling it, you have this, where the enemy team is stuck in one of 3
I've been
spots.
considering, like, on this map, unless we have a good opportunity to get towards their dome in that plat area, a lot of the time, it's kind of like a fallback from me. I kind of just stall that left zone until I know, like, there's something that I can do, because I find it pretty easy to just sit there.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. Like, I think the thing I'd say is, if you want to, you can fish for setting up something through left side, having your team take a different position from you. And if nothing's happening, cool, you should get a response back. Hey, we can't act on this. You double back, you stall, and then you try again. And then, okay, is the team ready? Yes, go with it. Is the team ready? No, okay, I'll go back to stalling. And you just repeat until, is the team ready? Yes, go. If that makes any sense.
Not really related, but just a thought I have. You might be able to tell in this game, I don't play Zuka.
That's fine. I don't.
I'm a
Chief,
I'm
I
a
promise
Cumbrella.
you,
I'm the
you can look
Cumbrella.
at any of my reviews. I don't judge mechanics. I will compliment good mechanics. I won't comment on bad mechanics.
Oh no! It's not my Zuka mechanics. It's when I decide to pop Zuka.
I do not care. I promise you. But again, like, here, I don't think this is terrible. I will say something I feel would help y'all is when you get the chance, try to take and force the space. Especially with Tent. I'm not sure if Brush can fill in on this, so Chai, if it can, please tell me. But you have something that can skirmish and draw attention very well. You have 2 things that can do it. But Tent is
Yep.
really, really good at taking a shit ton of force. And Tent is kind of one of the weapons that is insanely good and good enough to 1v3 if your mechanics are good. So Tent can take here. When you have the chance, follow up and take the other space. Because look, Mako, in this case, I see you just pushing up to here. You can check this entire general area. Cool, once this is clear, you're kind of just golden. Because now the enemy team doesn't have a good spot to actually push in from. I might be wrong. If I have to eat my words on this, I'm happy to. But if y'all play slow here, it's gonna make your life harder. And like Bogos, in your case, I get why, but I do wish you were positioning like here. Because similar thing. The thing with advantage, or like holding an advantage position or holding offense, is you want to prevent any options they can have before they have the time. Which, yes, I know that's obvious. That's offense 101. I shouldn't have to explain that. And I know I don't need to. The reason I bring it up though is if you're playing with Tent, take advantage of the fact that Tent can 1v2 on one side of the map while you 3v2 the other side. Like, take
That's
advantage of
kind of
that.
I
the
actually do that in
opposite
the
of what we kind of go for, though, is that I am the one who typically am going to 1v2.
Which I think is fine. Like, I think the
Yeah.
thing with Brush is, like, let's say, here, give me a second. I was gonna drink some water, but I guess not.
I mean, real quick, I do want to say that it's not the goal, and I try to avoid situations like that as much as possible. But I do have the ability to scrap in those like 1v2, 1v3 situations, and at least
Yeah.
live for long enough for something for us to have something.
And I should
Like
clarify,
it happened in the very last game that we played today. I did a pretty good job at that.
Mhm.
and I should clarify, I'm not saying you should be fishing for exclusively trying to set up the scenarios. It's more so, if it's set up naturally, the rest of your team should take advantage of this.
Hmm.
Because, like, in this case, you naturally have a good position to push from. In this case, you know, okay, if something happens on the left side, it's Tent. As you said, you can scrap 1v2s. And if you want to do this with Brush is a little weird. You're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong on this, Try. This is just going off of what I know of Brush. I feel what Brush wants to do is, I'm gonna keep this side. Brush wants to go forward, wait a second, try to get resources, and double back and try to bait the enemy team in to overcommit a little. To get a similar effect to what Tent does.
Yeah,
I don't think
similar.
it wants
It's
to do
like
that side,
it
but
doesn't,
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't want to go like I don't want to back out. I want to like how do I explain it? I want to bait them into taking fights that I know that I'm never going to take, essentially,
I,
right? So
yeah,
basically, I punish them for looking like for not engaging with me. Like how do okay, so I'll go to engage with them. The moment that they engage with me, I disengage. But the moment that they disengage, I engage.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm
I'm
using
playing
this.
a game of chicken.
Yeah, I get that. I'm using this as a simple thing of, like, at the end of the day, you're trying to more or less get them to overcommit to something. You can do a
Yeah.
very similar thing to what Tent can. It's just in your case, you don't have the same amount of force that Tent can put out or withstand. So
Yeah.
you can have the same thing happen with Tent. It's just if you're doing that, you have to act on it within the span of like half a second. If even, I think it's a quarter of a second, because Tent at best gets like 3/4 of a second in really pressured situations. Um, okay, sorry, I'm thinking H-dive numbers. You can probably double that from normal speeds, but you still don't have a ton of time to work with it. But you can do a similar thing. Just on offense, you have to take that space. Because you're kind of in a weird spot here where you aren't actually set up for their push, and now you just end up getting split because of that. And there's not a ton that you could have done because you were kind of just set up into that scenario by not taking space early. If that makes any sense. This is fine. This is fine. I don't hate this. I also think the other thing that I'm noticing, I'm not sure what y'all want to do about this. Like, Bogos Makwa, it feels like both of you are wanting to react to what Chai and Rainy are doing. Am I wrong to say that?
A little bit for me, because a lot of what I want to do is I want to play off shield
Mhm.
sometimes.
But that's
And
still
I think
react.
it was mentioned. Yeah,
Like, if you're
it
playing
was
off shield. Good, sir.
if it was mentioned earlier that I guess I don't really know if a tent shield is meant to be pushed in with or not.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Fair. I think if you're trying to play around Tent Shield, though, you are playing reactive in that regard. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm asking mainly because, like, I'm seeing this scenario, and I actually feel y'all have everything set up to just breach right side. If this is what y'all want to do, I'm not sure if you want to full commit and breach right side, but I do think you want to clear right side. Because, like, in this spot,
Oh yeah, that's definitely my objective. I don't know if I called that during this part of the game, but I definitely wanted to just pulse on that right side at least.
And
Yeah, like I should have been far right side. Like me and Akira were talking about this. I should have taken a really wide angle so that that sword has to commit to me over on that side, and then you get a shield set up. But I, for some reason, go right to mid.
I'm also just focusing on, because like from what I'm seeing, Bogos Magua, it feels like both of you are like, okay, we know that we're wanting to do something over here, or we're gonna want to do something over here. I'm just gonna clear this and then wait for Tent Shield. I can't tell you exactly why. It's just what I'm feeling looking at these games, or at this game so far. And I understand why, because using Tent Shield as okay, this is an indicator of our offense. This is an indicator of where we're going is great. Um, the way that I would encourage y'all to see, in particular, Brush and Tent Shield, is they will enhance whatever you're naturally doing, but it shouldn't be what you're trying to play with or play off of, if that makes sense. Like, try Rainy, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I'm going off of my own experience. Brush is really good at, I'm going to get the enemy team to commit to something. If my team's already doing something, cool, the enemy team just explodes. And same with Tent. I'm going to get
No,
the enemy
I
team
think
to...
that's
What's up?
well on this comp. That's correct with Brush. I don't think that. I mean, it can happen with this comp because Splatoon's a variable game. It's shit happens, and so like it is it is a possibility for me to get in a situation like that. But in this comp, we're trying to avoid situations like that, where I don't think that the tent umbrella is going to be. I don't think that tent umbrella is very comparable to Brush in that sense. At least the way that we aim to play the game.
Fair?
Where like you said, like Brush gets in a situation, and then like if the rest
Yeah.
of the team is set up, then like
More so, I think,
they
is with
die and go boom.
Tent. Like with Tent, if you're playing Tent naturally and your team is playing naturally, there just will be overlap where, okay, the enemy team is committing resources onto Tent, and it's very easy to wrap that up. Compared to, okay, we're going to launch Tent Shield, they're going to commit resources onto Tent, and we're going to commit resources behind our Tent Shield to kill them. Because it just feels like how y'all are trying to play is very reactive and in response to what's happening with the enemy team and your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, I'm not going to say is the worst thing, but I want y'all to see how this push is developing. It develops very awkwardly, if that makes any sense. Because, like, okay, we're gonna commit this way, cool. I'm cool. This side's cleared, cool. Someone dies over here. Oh wait, we aren't fully committing here. I'm gonna back up. Now we want to commit forward. Now I have to commit in. Now there's like 3 people putting force on this side, and now you just can't force that side. At least not for a second. Like, I'll clear this. Like in this case, yes, you get the kill, but I'm gonna be honest, it feels like the enemy team is misplaying more than y'all are setting up fights that you're for sure to win. And again, if y'all think I'm wrong, please tell me. Like, I'm just kind of looking at the fight that happened with Stamper, because it really does feel like Stamper just overplayed its hand.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree with that. I think like with what was happening around me, I don't really see myself doing much different in the span of those like 5 seconds right there. Because the reason that I back up for a second is because I don't want to take that 1v1, or
Yeah,
I guess it would be a 2v1
and again,
because it's a
I'm
Stamper
not
and
saying
the
your
machine
response
there.
is terrible. Like, most of what I was commenting on with some of this is like Bogo's Makwa. If you notice, both of them are behind you and reacting to your shield on the right side.
Yeah.
That's what I was commenting on, more so. Because, like, there is... Y'all have the chance to be like, okay, we know they want to be on the right side. Or, like, even before you kill here, it's like, okay, we know we want to take right side. I can be positioning here, because if you're here now, Makwa, this is honestly a really dangerous position for the enemy team. Stamper's not quite in range, and nor is Dynamo, but, like, they're close to the edge of your one-shot range, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least your standard fire.
Yeah. If I was
Um,
standing there, yes. I think I'm backed up there because I got hit by the 80 damage, and I was like, okay, I'm not pushing up because I don't want the dynamo to just flick upwards and deal 100
fair.
damage.
Still, though, because, like, even earlier, you had the chance to commit in through right side. Like, I can understand logically what's getting y'all to it. More so, my thing is, I think if y'all have intent way before, because I think what'll help y'all the most is like communicating what you want in 3 seconds. Like in 3 seconds from now.
I've been advocating for that. That's something that I think I call a lot during our game or after games.
Mhm.
I guess for like
And
like after scrims, yeah.
I'm not super good at getting to that point, but recognizing that it's an issue that we're reacting more than proacting.
Yeah,
I don't
then
know if
being
that's a
proactive.
word,
You're being
but I think you
reactive,
know
not
what I
proactive.
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, I do think that's probably the big thing that's happening. And I think what's happening, I'm gonna let this play out. I'm not gonna pause through too much, but I want to point out some stuff that I'm noticing. Because like big thing that I'm noticing, obviously, is what we've been talking about or I brought up a few times now, is this is the pace of tent shield versus rush. So this is a big thing. You have to be proactive with this. You have the fact that you're playing proactive around tent shield or reactive around tent shield, and you're not committing further than tent shield. Like unironically, I think besides for the push that you had up to here and excluding Chai, I've not seen anyone on your team be in front of tent shield. Um, which yeah, I know there's some reasons for it, but it does make it harder. And then you have being reactive to the enemy team and being reactive to the enemy players. So you're kind of having all four of those things compound at once. And I think that's what's making it really hard. Again, I'm going to let this play out and try to not pause too much because, yeah. I'm not worried about the time. Like this, if y'all notice, like, Chai, you're going in, this is good. Like, this is what you want to see. It feels like the rest of your team is playing reactive to the fact that you're getting in and taking the space.
Yeah, I've noticed that I don't really. I think I've said this a few times, specifically to Chai, is that there are moments in the game where I know where you are,
Mhm.
but it's very rare that I know. Like, I can get an idea of generally what your plan is, but it's very rare that I know what you're doing or what
Same
you're
here, Rainy.
moving
No, I'm
forward.
kidding. As in, I don't know what I'm
Do
doing
now,
half the
think
time. Yeah.
later. That's the
Yeah,
impression.
yeah,
That's the
exactly. I
impression.
see guy not looking, I go.
I mean, even then, like,
I,
it's
I
just
know that I have an issue of not doing that enough, but I do make an active effort to try to make it clear to the rest of the team what my goal is. And a lot of the time when I do that, sometimes I recognize that's what my goal is probably not the play. I don't think I've made this clear, but a part of my hope is if that's not something that the team is ready for or wants me to do, then that's an opportunity for feedback.
yeah, it's called against. It's called
Hmm.
against and called off. Which is what you'd want to see. I think advice that I'd give y'all just as a different thing for a practice session, and I'm not kidding. Go into open or go into some scrims, you're gonna have 3 people mute, and you're gonna have 1 person unmuted who's calling everything they're
We've done
thinking,
this.
seeing, and doing. Um,
Actually, I do like that.
and it's
You should get
really
on Killer
great.
Blues.
It's really great because the one person who's unmuted, it's really beneficial because you know when you aren't calling. Um, and it also helps get over some
Hmm.
of the fear of you're calling too much. Because again, I don't think there's such a thing as calling too much, so much as calling information that's already been said or doesn't need to be said. Which that's just learning how to filter, not calling too much. Um,
I think I don't want to get too caught up on this because I don't
I'm
think
not either.
it's relevant, but I do want to say that on that note,
Mhm.
I think the issue of calling too much, a lot of the time when I take issue with teams doing that, it's more of a fact that what's being called isn't necessarily bad. It's just that the rest of the team isn't listening. And I always say that
Yep.
calls are only as useful as the team can make of them. And if your team isn't listening and you just call something that's already been said, then like
Yeah,
it's
and I think that's the thing of
that's
practice.
overcalling.
I, I,
Yeah.
I really think that's practice, and I say that because hi, I am the person who makes people learn to deal with input, taking a lot of input. That's just how I call. And again, I'm not gonna go too into the weeds because it's not useful to y'all. Not for now, at least. This is fine. I actually like that y'all are chasing this. This is proactive, or it's a little reactive, but it's still proactive. Hey, they're doing this. We want to clear this. Cool. It's just actually I don't even think
I
it's
don't think we should
terrible.
go that far back for it, in my
I would
opinion. Like,
I
I
would agree
think
with that, but
because me and Akira were talking about this, like from an FLC VOD, that like what was it? Like once they're past like a certain threshold, they're not actually like a threat to anything, like both
they're
the zone
just
and our
out of the
players.
play. Yeah,
And yeah, and we need to give up on that until they actually come back to engage.
yeah.
At least I recognize that it's none of my business.
I
Yeah, me too, Rainy.
the thing that I would say,
Not my problem.
at least with Tent Shield, because Tent Shield is effectively an extra player. If you want to go this
Yeah.
far back, you send 1 person back, and they commit this hard. You don't want to send 2. Like Makwa, if you wanted to go back, this makes sense. Bogos, I don't think you go this far back. Or vice versa. Bogos, if you wanted to stay here and shut them down, Makwa, you need to stay
I
up
think
front.
it should be Maka, because if we get the pen set up on that spine,
I agree.
then I
It's
probably
just
I don't know if I die here right now, but I imagine I do.
it's a lot easier.
And I don't know if I
It's a lot
do.
Eventually, you
easier for
actually
you to
stay
live with one
alive
setup.
for a long time, Rainy.
Yeah, this is a scenario 10 can live pretty comfortably, even though it doesn't feel like it. Just
Yeah,
either
this is
way,
situations that
sending
I'm kind of used to.
2 people back is too much. You can send 1 if you really
Mhm.
want to kill it. I think ideal is you probably send 1 person back to like here-ish, somewhere in this vicinity. And they can just keep an eye on it. But again, it's different to each team and each
Yeah,
playstyle. I'm not gonna
I
comment.
think
Mhm.
in a I do want to note, because this is just something that I see, is that in a situation like that where the machine gets behind us, at a certain point, like Chai was saying, there's a threshold. Um, like we need it to know that we have eyes on it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Is it
but we
it's
don't
similar
need
to
to have our feet on it too.
Yeah, it's like similar to sometimes I'll engage with like a fight behind and I go scene ignoring and then I just dip forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is totally fair.
Once
Like,
there's a problem, maybe I'll come back.
just there are multiple answers y'all can have to it. Just either way, the big thing that happened is you committed 2 people back. Like, if you want to have someone chase it down and fucking
Mhm.
nuke it, if you want to have someone just force it out of a position and just keep eyes on it, cool. If you just want to disregard it and say, hey, the second we see a jump, we're gonna book it back, cool. Each team wants to respond to flanks differently. I'm not gonna comment. It's just that was the play that happened on a macro level that like made this situation happen. Where this is messy. Because now it's a little hard to keep this hold. Yeah, and I think the other thing is again,
Booyah, I behated.
I feel something else that like
Booyah.
I feel like I can point this out actually semi well in this because you all know how I was talking about it feels like you're playing reactive to each other like as teammates. I want y'all to watch this scenario.
Mhm.
Chai, you're going in. Makwa only now is responding. That's fine. I get it. That's hard to respond. Makwa, you're going forward. You're trying to fight that. Bogos, this makes sense. You drop Rainy. Cool. Makwa's only now starting to be able to react. United Booyah. Makwa's fighting right side alone. Bogos, it feels like you're trying to still respond off of like where Rainy was. Like it feels like y'all are responding to in like reacting to what your teammates are doing compared to just, hey, this is what we want to do. This is what we need to do it. Which really, I think, at least for this game, the biggest thing y'all can work on is just calls and just sending it. Like, unironically, I think what might be helpful for y'all in particular, that I wouldn't recommend to every team, if y'all want to do Kong practice, like what I was saying, both Makwa and Burgos, both of you play, and both of you play unmuted. So Rainy and Chai, both of y'all can learn, hey, this is what they're fishing for, and how to act on that easier, and set that up. Because there's a lot of things you can do. It's just a little awkward. And here again, this is just reactive with each other, if that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm speeding through this a bit faster than I was before. Like, at least from what I'm seeing from this game, it really just is y'all are playing so reactive that you can't do anything. Like, here, let's see. This shouldn't be that much longer in the game. I stand corrected. Y'all make it go the full 30 seconds. Mad respect. Shield, cool. But like, again, here, it just feels reactive. It's fine. Yeah. I would comment anything else, but like, at this point, this just feels like full panic and reacting to each other. Yeah, I'm not gonna look over the rest of this, because at that point, it's done. If y'all are fine with it, I want to skip ahead to the good game and see if the trend still holds. Or see if
It's the exact same map, yeah.
That works, honestly. This is the benefit of asking for good games, is I can show a bad game, talk about it, and then skip to ideally showing where it isn't happening. I don't actually typically get through all 5 replays,
Who's
but
Ranny and Evil Chai? I only know John Tent and John Brush.
John Brush, dang.
let's see. Let's see how this goes.
This is my main. This is where I'm comfortable.
That makes sense. Also, I want to point out in this game, holy shit, you got knocked off by Dooley. Okay, you didn't. Thank God. Like I want to point out, like, because it was mentioned earlier. Okay, we have this pace with Tent. We have this pace with Rush. That's not quite accurate. Whatever. Um, Notice you two are closer with each other and can sync up with each other on that.
Mhm.
I don't think it was intentional. I think it was kind of a coincidence, but it still
On what
happened.
side?
You were over here. Rainy was over here, which actually lets you two sync up in terms of time.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's because Akira was telling
Mhm.
me I can't just run right in.
Yeah.
We VOD reviewed this like right
Fair.
before, and so I was like, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah. Here, this is fine. Like I can see on your end, Makwa, you're wanting to fight right side. You have the intent, and now Rainy is coming in. And like fighting right side is a little easier now. Luli comes in, that's fine. And you're still responding to this. Like, if y'all are noticing, it does feel like it's okay. I'm seeing this is happening. I want to respond. I'll just do it. Compared to more so, this is what a teammate's doing. Let me do it. Because like, yes, Tent is valuable. I feel like y'all rely on Tent too much. I'm gonna be honest. Like something else I think could be helpful to y'all for practice, which I wouldn't recommend this to every Tent team, but I feel it would be helpful to y'all in particular. Uh, Rainy, play a shieldless for a couple of scrims. Just never using your shield. Um, which I know it makes it way harder on your end. Um, However, it's beneficial because the rest of the team gets used to not playing with the 10 shield. And I say that because I see a lot of teams with 10 to knife personal experience from PS. Uh, we relied on shield so much to where we couldn't play without it. And I'm curious if y'all have a similar issue. If I'm wrong, I'm
Well, I feel like our
glad for
comp
that. But
is like surrounded around the tent shield. Like I don't think
yeah,
like Makwa's gonna have a hard time doing anything without it, and I can't really do much if it's not like active either.
see, I don't disagree with that, but I think y'all are still so dependent on it being there and setting the line for your offense to an unhealthy degree. Because I still think your comp has good enough like power behind it to at least hold its own versus more standard comps. Because again, it's not that I'm saying don't use the tent shield, because if I did that, I'd be fucking stupid. Like, notice you're having your shield all the way back here. Like, you can't have Makwa get up to here in this case. Yes, I know Blaster's there, or have Makwa go up to here and take like a fairly even to easy fight on Wellstring. Or have Bogos come up a step to clear that. Like in this case, try you're doing what you want to on this play. But like, y'all still can play without the 10 shield and make your life easier. And if y'all want to disregard it, go for it. But I do think y'all are relying on 10 shield to a degree where it's dictating your entire offense. This is fine, I like this push. Notice, if you notice the intent of, okay, hey, we're all just gonna push left side, is here on this push. This is good. This is what you want to see. Y'all end up not committing, but that's fine. Also, sorry, I want to take a second. It feels like y'all are thinking or maybe disagreeing with what I was saying on tent. Am I wrong on that? If I am, cool. But
I don't disagree with necessarily what you said, but I'm thinking about like I'm thinking about it a bit more deeper than that, and like I can understand like you saying that we rely too much on the tent shield, but I think there is a bit of a disconnect because of the way that we play the game is different. I do agree that it would be better to not just fall back on tents 24/7, but I don't know necessarily if it's us relying on the tent shield that's so much an issue. And like I'm not disagreeing that it's optimal, but I don't know if that is a focus that we should be like considering like too much, at least right now. Because
for the second,
like
I would
for
agree.
you, I understand because you're
Mhm.
hyper diving, like it makes a lot more sense, I think. But I I don't know so much if that's uh is the case. Not that it's sorry, I'm losing my words. Not that it's not the case at all. I just don't think I think that it's a bit imbalanced where it's more important for you
Yeah,
than
and
it
again,
is for
I'm not
us.
saying y'all have to have this down tight, but I do think having some of the foundation there would be more beneficial to y'all. Because, like, I'm looking at how y'all are playing from overhead, and the only thing that I can think of is, okay, we know that you are just relying on tent shield as your pace. Cool. I'm just never going to look at the tent, and I'm just gonna hard hammer the other side, which just makes it hard for y'all to do something. Because if they don't want to commit in on Chai, that's fine. I know there's ways around it because Rush has ways around it, but it still kind of is a how you're playing with using tent shield how you are is kind of you almost rely on the enemy team playing your game a little bit. And again, I'm not saying y'all have to full commit to it because as you are saying, you are correct that for H dive it is much more pressing for us to have it down tight playing without shield. Just I don't think it would harm you at all for it. Um, I agree with you. It's not a right now thing. I think for now, working on syncing up, like playing more proactive and working with your calls, probably is the biggest thing. But I will comment on what I can see. I don't know. Again, I will accept my bias. That is something I do with every review. Just like I want to point out here on that left side. I'm not going to go too in depth on it, but y'all were the only space you took was based on tent shield. Like there was no aid coming in behind tent shield. There was no force coming with it. Y'all didn't force through right side.
Um, I think you're actually. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I think that you're missing an important note
Hmm?
right here that I've noticed a bit like a lot recently is that in a different way I think we're relying too much on tent shield. Where I think when people think, "Oh, I have to play around the tent shield," people immediately think I need to play inside of it. But I think that we're getting too caught up in that mind trap because playing around the tent shield, I need everybody to understand this, doesn't mean playing next to it.
Yeah, like tent
And
is an
I
external
think
object.
that we're getting I think we're getting too caught up in I need to be playing around this big HP object rather than I need to be playing around what this big HP object it does for us.
Yeah, that's
Because I think if Mako
sorry.
just takes up this spine right now,
Mhm.
what were we saying?
Sorry, I wasn't clarifying well. This is what I mean. Like we're on the same page. Like that's what I was meaning of. I feel you are relying on shield too much. Like you are saying directly with shield. Because like in this case, I could see
Okay.
Makwa going here. I could see Makwa going here. Makwa, if you say, "Hey, fuck this," I'm gonna go all the way around. Cool. Like it's just each time I have seen y'all play, you have not gone past shield. Like y'all are
Mm-hmm.
so connected to
Yeah,
shield of your position for your push. That's what I mean.
I think I think that kind of needed to be clarified because
I get you.
I'm not I don't think
I'm happy you clarified it. I am terrible at
necessarily
wording things sometimes.
okay.
I, I also, if you have something that you're thinking of, say it. I won't be offended. I promise you. Like y'all can
Okay.
curse me out mid coaching session, and I probably won't care.
No, we were doing that when you were muted. Don't worry.
No, I respect it. Y'all can do it to my face though. I don't mind.
Dude, I'm no bitch. I wouldn't do it behind your back.
Dude. This fucking Wellstring was popping Ultra Stamp on me every single interaction.
That makes sense.
This motherfucker.
Also, like, I want to find out here because I'm just seeing the signs. Okay, so it's not gonna. Holy shit! They have to pop double stamp. Stop whatever the fuck you're doing. No. Hold up. Sorry, I feel like I want to point this out just because of what I was talking about and what you were saying, Rainy. Makua going forward to here and playing proactive by themselves is what I was talking about. This is what I want to
Mhm.
see. Because now you're having, okay, we're having this set up at the same time. Makua can push forward like this. Bogo's in this case, you're literally set up and watching this entire side. So, like, Chai, in your case, I can see you going
Oh,
all the way around here. I can see you flanking all the way behind. I can see you doubling up with Makua and rotating to here. I can see you doubling up and adding force. Because the entire right side
can
gets cleared.
can
Or
I
left side.
talk?
Sure.
Can I just speak with Makwa for a second? Makwa, I obviously don't know what's going on in your brain when the game is happening, but I noticed that a lot of the time, this was especially the case today. We kept saying that you were getting a bit too antsy when you didn't have the shield of it. Like I was down, and you're getting a bit too antsy without me. And I don't like. I maybe we're misleading you into thinking how I was just saying how we shouldn't be thinking, where we need to be playing directly into the shield. What I mean when I say that you're getting a bit too antsy without me is that there's no longer that resource to be played around, not necessarily inside, but you no longer have such a crucial part of our team composition. I remember there was one specific instance on Inkblot where I went down and then you tried to bum rush one of the last people and you ended up dying on their ramp on the left side. And if you just waited for like a second for me to be into a position where that can be set up a bit better, it doesn't necessarily have to be right inside of my shield. That would have been an option right there. Lives are also a big resource too. So like I feel like
Yeah.
it's more a case of there's just a resource missing from what you want to do. And I don't I apologize if I'm misleading you into thinking that my being inside my shield is the only thing that is supplying you value.
Well, it's certainly not. I think a lot of my game plan, I guess, throughout just any game, is like I see a person who is in kill range and I need to go kill them. And
Me too, Makwa.
yeah, but no, but you have like mobility tools and stuff. Like I have burst bomb. Burst bomb is like fine in like the immediate fight, but I feel like I need to just like the fights that I do pick are ones that I absolutely should have an even-ish ground on. And so if I'm pushing in to get the kill like that, it's because I have told myself in my mind that I should be getting this kill, and
Mm.
I just falter on the execution or something.
I
guess it
actually
depends.
disagree about the execution part because I don't because if you are going to lose 50% of the games that are on an even playing field. That's just kind of how that works out. I think the
Okay.
issue there is it's not it a lot of the time I don't think that it's the fight that you should be taking. It's not the fight that needs to happen in the moment. It's not the fight that we're swaying in our favor. And you're kind of like giving up on a fight that we could set up and
Set
win
up.
for
Yeah.
a fight that you could win by chance.
I guess, but I guess my counter argument is that
What if I hit
if
the big one?
if if you go down and someone else on the other team goes down, then that is an even trade, and that is good. And like by making someone like by backing off of a fight that that I could win, I am giving up space or making of giving them an opening, even if I am like just trying to shark in the area. Maybe I can get an
Is the
easier pick
risk
or something.
always worth it? Because that kill can happen a lot more secure. Like it's a lot more certain to happen if you just give yourself an opportunity to not full send it and set it up properly.
I think
And I think
I think
part
this
of what
is
info is trying to get at is
Mhm.
that there's very little thought going into how we can win a, like an engagement. There's very little thought of what we could be doing to set ourselves up better.
Mhm. And I think that also, like, Mako, you're not giving up space so long as you're, like, in that area, right? Like, getting the kill
Mhm.
is good, right? But then also, like, me and Akira have had this conversation because I get kill hungry a lot, like, a lot. And like a lot of the times, like what Akira says to me, even just standing there, you're a threat, right? Because your blaster,
Yeah.
right? If you just stand in that spot, even if like getting the kill is big, but if you just deny that area till we get back to set you up for a push, that might be better, right? Just not allowing them to push into you.
I guess
That
part
makes
of that
sense.
also has to be with the fact that the S Blast is one shot. I think the one shot is also supporting me in that like go kill them mindset, because if I
Mhm.
walk up, I get a one shot and then I can back off
I
really
want to
fast.
clarify
But
something. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I don't think the mindset of trying to go for kills on Blaster is bad. It's kind
Mhm.
of like I would honestly encourage that mindset on Blaster. Like I don't think being bloodthirsty is terrible. I think the thing that makes being bloodthirsty bad is if you aren't working with your team to use it. Because a lot of what
right,
I'm noticing with what you're doing is okay, you're wanting to be bloodthirsty. So like, let's say Rainey's here, you'll be behind shield and you're trying to be bloodthirsty while being safe. Instead of
yeah,
okay, what can I do to set something up for my team? So even if something happens or something goes wrong, we're still winning the engagement. Because
okay,
it's funny with trades, because you were saying trades are like it sounds like how you were describing it. You feel trades are positive. Trades are positive for whatever team ends up with the space at the end. So like if your team is
Yeah. I
mounting
wanted
an
to say
offense
that when he said
first,
that. I agree.
like if your team is mounting an offense first, sure, a trade can be helpful. If your team is playing defense, I think trades can be actively harmful. Um, Trades don't really matter. Trades are net even until the end of the entire engagement. Um,
hmm
so like I don't think trades are good or bad. It just depends on how your team is using it. The thing is, you're already doing like when and where you're trading, your team is already covering that, so you're not doing anything new. If that makes any sense.
yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to bring up another scenario. A lot of the time, when there's Splatoon 3 map design TM where there is one route, a lot of the time just following through my tent shield can be the right play, and like you can be the one behind my shield, and I can be there to support that fight that you're taking because there's only one route. But a lot of the time, if I send my shield out, I can follow it, and you can take another angle. You can be the devil, I can be your angle, and like we can just kind of win the fight because we have more sights on it, I guess,
yeah,
from different
Yeah.
angles.
Like
Where
play
like
around
in
the
this
shield,
scenario
not
right
behind.
here, if
yeah. It's like
yeah,
it's magnet
if I were
yeah,
to send my
right,
shield out on this left side right now, and let's say we wanted to call a fight on that blaster right there, then I could I'm already cutting off its way out to back to their base, and so if they get caught in the fight with us, then it's pretty much a lose-lose for them because either they commit to the fight and they die because we have two people looking at them, or they decide to retreat and they die because I'm already there cutting them off.
The other way you can
hmm
see it instead of it just being a lose lose is end of the day you're limiting options because like it's really funny with kills because I was encouraging
Hmm.
being bloodthirsty. I think the ideal game of Splatoon you get 0 kills. Because like in this scenario, I'm gonna bounce off of what you're saying, Rainy, because you're basically saying, okay, we're gonna do this. I cut off this entire thing. In this case, Makwa, you're shutting down the entire side. You literally force the enemy team into two options. You go forward. Why do you do this, Epic Pen? You go forward, or you go backwards, or you take the direct fight, which is very risky. Like the
hmm
more predictable you can make the enemy team, the easier it is to work with. And like, let's just work with this, right? So the enemy team is backing it off. Cool. You chase forward. You work with that bloodthirst, and they have to keep moving back. Because the goal is you want to get as much space as you can working with your team. Kills are just a way to get that space. And same with tent shield and all of that.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna let this
I
play out.
think I think so. Actually, can you pause it for I might consider doing the shieldless scrim at some point, but on the note that we were just talking about, I think it's less so that we need to rely less on my tent shield. It's that we need to know what the value of my tent shield is.
Mm,
And so if we're able to practice that at least first before the 0 tent shield, then we're gonna know not only what we're missing when my tent shield's gone, but we're also just generally going to understand the win conditions of any fight that could happen on the map.
Fair. I think you can
I
learn.
think that I think that's a bit more imminent.
I think you can learn the same thing doing shieldless, and it's just in reverse. You see what you don't have a with shield, so when you play with it, it's like, oh, this is what it does. Two different ways to get the same result. I don't disagree with you.
I personally, yeah, I mean, there's a discussion that I could have with you about this, but I don't think it's super important right
Yeah,
now.
no, I literally think this is just getting into people learn differently.
Hmm.
People learn differently and people teach differently. That's kind of all that there is to be said. Because I think both work. Like your method
Hmm.
would not work for me, and it sounds like my method wouldn't work for you, which is fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is fine. Y'all are pushing in. Again, notice, like, try it. Actually, I know you end up dying here, but I don't think you going for that is terrible. Like, if the rest of y'all committed in on this fight, it makes sense.
It's a fight I should win. I think I get directed by the blaster, which is
I think you'll
unfortunate.
get
It's a
nuked
fight
by.
that I should win.
I think you get nuked by the wild
Do
string,
I?
but yeah.
Oh, I say yeah. The blaster's a fight I should win like 90% of the time.
I get you. More so, the
Not
space
anymore.
table makes sense. Just like, if this was committed in on, it would work. Because here, if y'all notice, you are playing. It feels like y'all are playing fairly reactive. Good on getting behind try that actually should just suffocate their entire push. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my weapon sucks. Yes.
Okay, I guess it doesn't
I hit the follow-up
entirely
of all
suffocate their
time.
push. Oh, did they jump? No, it's too late if they try to jump better. Nice, okay. Good. Yeah, that's suffocated their push. Good. In this spot, I think y'all just need to push forward as quick as you can to get something set up, especially with tent shield. Good. Also, I'm gonna just kind of talk about what we were talking about earlier with the tent. If you have tent go here, you set this up with the tent shield, you can have someone take this angle, and now you just have to worry about snipe. I do like
Yeah,
look
this is
Sorry,
at
can
something me
you
and
say
Akira
that
were
again? You
talking
were
about.
cutting out
uh
a lot
Yeah.
here again.
for
I can repeat
me.
that. Don't sweat it. In this spot, because you're coming into this, you can have someone take an angle like this, and you can have tent take an angle like this, and shield through here. Kind of what we were talking about with tent. Like in this case, Mako, you can literally take this line, and in doing this, all that you now have to worry about is this area, which tent can cover this semi-safely, as long as there's something adding to it. I'd encourage you to do the opposite. I'd actually encourage have tent take this line, ideally, and then have the rest of the team come through here. But that's also biased from personal experience.
Yeah,
I think
the way that I think about Tenebrella a lot of the time is that my generally speaking, the players on either team are oppositely charged magnets, whereas my tent shield is the same as the enemy team. So wherever my tent shield is going, it repels the enemy team backwards. So if I'm coming in from under the dome, my shield's moving towards their base, pushing them either farther away or into that corner on the dome, which I think is more beneficial than me coming perpendicular.
See,
The other way that you were saying,
the
because
reason
if I'm coming perpendicular, then I'm not really forcing them out.
yeah, giving my perspective, because again, both make sense. The reason I say this is the enemy team has to fire into your shield, and you're giving coverage for your team to come in this way. Because they have to hit your shield first. So there's only like a small surface area. There's a small area like from this angle where we can actually hit your team. And again, that's personal experience. You don't have to take it. Just
Mhm.
more so, I will comment. I will give my 2 cents and acknowledge you do not have to do that. Like in this case, Mako, what you're
Mhm.
doing here is good. Like going forward and taking space and forcing the enemy team to back off is what you should be doing. I think in this case, Rainy, you're just a little too slow to react to it. Because I'm fairly sure you should die here, Mako. Never mind. I respect it. Good on staying alive. And this is good, just slow. Like, that entire push that y'all could have set up, I think you had the right idea. I think it was just you were trying to react to each other, if that makes sense. It's like in this case, Rainy, it feels like you're just now trying to respond to Makwa. Makwa, you're trying to live. Now you're trying to respond to Tent Shield from Rainy. Rainy, you're trying to back off because you're trying to live and seeing Makwa's back. Like, I don't know. I might just be insane, but it definitely feels like it's okay. Someone's going forward. Can't take that alone. Someone's going backward. Someone's going in. This person's saying, oh, okay, I can go forward. This person's like, I can't stay in there alone. I don't know. I could be wrong. It just looks like that's the game y'all are playing. Which I think is just kind of a work on plans and calls. Because I think y'all have the right idea and setup. Like, y'all can explain the thoughts and ideas you're looking for fairly well. And I mean that as a compliment, because there's a lot of teams that can't do that.
I would like the jury to know that I am playing with a flashlight and I accidentally shined it in my eye and it hurts.
Okay. Try not doing that.
We shouldn't.
It's in front of me, so I need to touch it.
Honestly, though, I get that. That's tragic, dying to stamp. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, there's a point in this game. I don't know if we already passed it, but I'm right by that pillow, that orange pillow where that wellstring just was, and they popped 2 hammers on me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the average tent game.
Yeah, I fucking hate playing Ten Umbrella. I love this weapon to death, but I fucking hate playing it.
Yeah. I'm with this play around. I'm not going to pause as much, because I don't think there's a ton to go over that wasn't already hit. Because I think we've hit the main things that have kind of been stopping y'all from playing at your best consistently. Look, there's some personal taste stuff that I can say, but yeah. How y'all are wanting to play is not how I would want to play, so...
Flame keeps calling us a hyperdive team, but I don't see it.
Y'all are not!
I think
No.
it's rage bait.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just
part of me
still.
thinks that he's just joking, but there is times where he's just like, I don't see too much of a difference. I'm just,
If we were
don't know.
I mean, Akira calls us dive, but not really, but also yes, but also no. And I said yes.
Y'all have elements of dive.
If we were playing Hyperdive, I would not be playing S-Blast. I'd be playing like V-Shot or something.
You can absolutely make S-Blast work with H-Dive, but...
No, I understand that, but I am not that. I feel like in order for that to work, I would need to land more insane directs than I do.
It
And
just
I would
comes
just
with
not be-
practice.
I'd
you know,
be-
it's not as
anything,
bad
I'd
as
be
you
playing
think.
I'd rather.
I'd play Tri-Slosher because that's easier.
I feel like I'm not saying I want to do hyperdive, just me personally, but like if I were to, I would personally just rather switch to recycled.
Fair.
I mean, Brazil is on our roster of maybe putting you on.
Yeah, we're talking about potentially switching up our comps.
It's fine.
I stay on ink first though. Of course.
There's the double stamp.
Yeah, right there.
Good
Dude,
luck.
I know I was in a bad position, but they didn't need to do that to me.
Oh, they overtipped their... Wait, I forget, do you win this game, or do they overtip their hand? What the fuck? How do you lose this if you're the enemy? Huh?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I will say, one thing that I am really good at is dying to specials that the enemy team didn't need to do, and I've kind of leaned into that, where I will
That's just
force
the
them to
thing,
use
I think.
specials and just die. Yeah. I get, like, so good at that. You'll see, like, if... I don't know, just watch any of my VODs and you'll see, like, me against a custom blaster will just run forward and they're just like, scary, and then splash
Yeah,
them.
that makes sense. I'm still so... How the fuck do they lose this? I'm sorry. Oh, they just give the
You gotta go.
they just give
We're
shield too
both
much
different.
respect. Okay. What? Oh my god. Teams need to stop playing so fucking reactive. Sorry, this is killing me inside. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay.
I don't even think that was a particularly good game.
No. So
It's just the
bad.
one that we won.
We have. I sent my zones game that I did really good on. Hello.
Oh, right.
Chat, I just saw 2 teams that I coach faced against each other in gold bracket FTIU, and you'll never guess the team that I coach won. Not
saw.
FTIU
I was
yet;
watching
they're in
that.
their finals right now. But
Not they'll win, have faith. So, before
yeah, no, I believe in them.
something I do want to offer to y'all. Do y'all want to look for one more game, or do y'all think we've hit the main things? Because I feel we've hit the
Do
big
you,
things.
I
I've
have a
got
question of
time.
what you're comfortable with, because because I think that the things that you've covered are going to be stuff that we're going to struggle with the other games that you have access to right now.
Mhm.
I kind of want to see in this game right here, is there anything that you see us doing that you want to encourage us to do more?
Okay, I can look over. Also, to answer, I have time. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I'm MDT. It's 9. It's 9 on a weekend. I got nothing to do tomorrow besides I'm doing a stream
You're
for
in
review.
the same time zone as me.
It's
I love
Yo,
Mountain
Mountain Dwellers.
Let's go!
You know, I have a written joke, so I'm gonna just text it to you because this doesn't work verbally.
Oh?
Just,
Who is this
just put
aimed
it in
at?
You know
general.
what, Rainy? Ominous. Here, let me ask what team Moo is on. Actually, do
Okay,
you guys want to
hold
play some
on.
turf war after? Do
Somewhat.
you guys want to play some turf war after? Guys,
Sure.
Also, hold up, Rainy, are you in daylight savings right now? Because if it is, you can't say that.
I know it's EDT. Can you shush?
No. No, fuck you. I will
Um,
remind you that you are currently UTC -6 right now.
Actually,
Not -6,
before
-4.
we start this game, in fact, I'm making a little thing with one of my friends. We're doing EU scrims during the day because all of us are unemployed, and I have a feeling you're gonna like the comp. It's very fun.
Oh,
Okay, it's Inkbrush, Tetris, Junior, and Stringer.
I don't hate it. I don't love
We're
Stringer on
we're
that, but I
we're,
see
we're
why
going
Stringer's
in.
there.
The other option is Jet. Um, but I was like, just walk forward to Stringer, dog. We got it.
No, I
Sorry.
get it.
I
Prove
like
me
the
to be
three.
repro.
Sorry, Reddy. You're on break. I don't wanna bother you on your break. I don't wanna bother you on your
Yeah,
break.
true.
Don't hit the comp. It's just I just hear that and I'm like, where's the bamboo? Add the bamboo, and that comp is a fucking demon.
Sure, I'll tell Claudia. I'll say, can you play Bamboody, please? Get on that
I
Bamboody.
think you meant to say
Oh, no.
patterns undercover, Bola.
I think you want
I-
patterns undercover.
I think Stingrays are about to lose in their.
Oh, Chai did the
I
thing!
saw that.
Oh, they
What'd I
did.
do?
Chai did the thing where you just went back and then right back to where you were going before. You did an unnecessary turn.
I mean, okay, considering it's
Fucking go!
opening for stalling, I don't think it's terrible.
Oh, I think it's just because I didn't expect them to be there. I think is what happened.
Yeah, I don't think that's terrible. I want to point this out because I think this is good. Like, just because of what you were clarifying, like, Makwa, on your end, I honestly wish you just committed forward. Like, commit with the fight here, because you can use tent, like, taking space, because you know you don't have to clear it. Because, like, I see this spot, in, like,
Yeah.
if you want to be bloodthirsty, Makwa, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
shot 1,
I think.
shot 2.
Yeah. I think I would do that on a normal day, but I think this is like this is game. Wait, no, this is game 5.
Wait, they won. They're 4-3. Sorry, our friends are playing Ludi right now.
Yeah. I think I'm worried about just someone being in the corner. They like rush in the corner, and I know that Chai is there, but sometimes Chai will just die, especially if it's like a carbon or something, and then
true.
I'll have to help deal with whatever might come up that way.
I'll be honest,
And I didn't want to risk it.
You know,
this is my 2 cents.
that's less of a problem if you commit to it.
There's some of that. It also, this is how I feel your mindset is with this. I can't help a ton, but I want to just point it out. From some of the stuff you're describing, it feels like you play to not lose more than you play to win.
I tell teams this all the time. Sorry.
It's fucking accurate. It is one of the most common things that I have to tell teams. You're fine. It's common for a lot of players. Like, I understand why, but I want to point something out. It takes one good offense to win any game. You have multiple mediocre defenses before you lose the game. Like, you can fail a few pushes. If you get one, you win. Like, welcome to H5 101. You get one push and you're fucked. Like, we can win the game off of a single push. It doesn't matter so much what happens before. Because, like, end of the day, all that matters is you win the game. Sorry, that's more of an off-topic
Do you
thing,
mind
but
if I talk about what I was
have at
saying,
it.
where it's less of an issue? So you're worried with, like, in this scenario, you're worried about that dualies, right?
Yeah.
If you commit to that shot right there in the pencil, then you're over on their choke point, and the dualies is less of a problem for you. If you're sitting in mid, that dualies is a problem for you, because they can just get up there real fast. But if you're up where that pencil is right now, then they're playing your game. They have to come to you in a straight line, and you win that fight.
I see.
Also,
You can
other
pull
thing
them away. You can pull
Yeah.
them farther.
Other thing I'll say with comms, because I'm a nerd with comms. In this case, because you were saying more or less you're concerned someone's in this corner, right?
Yeah.
if something happens, either Chai or Bogos can call, hey, something's here, we need to deal with this. Because if it's just, hey, there's something behind us, y'all can just make the norm of adding, don't worry about it, I'll cover it, or something like that. Because it's just,
Yeah,
okay,
I've
it's there,
kind of
who
got a
cares,
habit
just go.
now. I've got a habit now of this is kind of necessary. This was a necessary thing for me to learn on public anemone, where a lot of the times I'll say something like heard, ignored, because it's not my problem.
Yeah, I'll be honest with that, I think, this is just my personal 2 cents, or personal taste with calls and stuff. If something's called, I'm expecting the person to call it to say what they want to happen, and it's just a
Mm-hmm.
sure can or sure I can't, or sorry I can't, and that's it. We move on. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Wait, sorry, I just wanted to point that out, considering what we're talking about a bit. Or like here, another good spot on your end, Mako. Like I feel if you commit in here, which you do, this is a good spot to commit forward. And with what's going on behind, I would just expect on your end, but let's just call it. The
Right.
the thing with anchors that I have is I trust anchors mechanics, considering a lot of the time they either have insanely good mechanics or insanely good calls.
Bogus has mechanics.
Well,
I do not have calls, that's for sure.
I just either way, I'm gonna more or less trust you to say something if you need help
Oh.
or just win the fight. What's up?
Bogus did call
Info.
this out because I come back.
Yeah, no,
So
I
it is
was
called out.
I was seeing that, and that's why I'm not worried
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Like I'm more so saying this for Mako,
Yeah.
considering what we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
I don't
Oh, yard.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but public anemone is more or less Bogos's first competitive experience.
Makes
Like
sense.
before this, like I think Bogus is doing a wonderful job because like having no experience before this and then joining like playing
A
with
Div
us
5
and
team.
being so
Yeah, right
good
out the
at the
gate.
game is just like that doesn't happen.
Fair.
So kind.
I can't comment. Like I will acknowledge you're definitely doing well on some stuff with positioning and understanding. I can't comment because back in S2 I met a Squeezer player with 100 hours who got into plus. So
Oh jeez.
I have seen the
100?
extreme. Yeah,
Did
I was
they
like,
play any other games before though?
I have no fucking clue. I don't think so.
Because
Um,
we were talking about this with I was talking about this earlier with I can't remember who it was, but on our LAN team, Hamura, Bogus, you know this. He's like top. I don't think he's top Counter Strike. He's really high up in Counter Strike, and so he was like, "Oh, I haven't played Splatoon in a really long time," and just like annihilates the entire
yeah,
LAN.
I
And we're like, Jesus Christ.
having competitive experience and like if you're top level in one game, you probably have enough fundamentals to be like mid level in any other game with a similar skill set.
Guys,
Like
guys, this
skill
means I'm
transfer is
gonna be
insane.
good at Deadlock,
Or
right?
my experience.
Oh.
Do you know where my experience is coming from, Info?
No.
Fencing,
Minecraft.
competitive fencing.
Oh.
That makes sense. Again, a lot of competition I honestly think is mental and just understanding. Like,
Yeah. Like I was telling High Tide Rush this at one point. I was explaining how my experience competitive fencing in Taekwondo it's really helped me learn Splatoon a lot faster than I probably would have otherwise. And Plasma was like highly doubting me, and I'm just like, you do like
nah, this shit transfers.
cross
Like,
country, and I'm just like, well, I can bring up several examples of how what you do transfers over to Splatoon. And he's just like, wait, shit, you're right.
yeah, no,
it's like
no, like,
it's not about the games or the games or the sports being exactly similar. It's that the skills you learn in them aren't exclusive.
yeah, exactly. Like, I hate this. I hate when people say this because, have any of y'all heard of like the 80-20 rule or the 28 or like same in reverse? If not, I can explain it because it's the idea that you can learn 80% of skills that will do like 20% of the work in something, and then or hold up, other way around. It's if you can learn 20% of skills, you can do 80% of anything. You can hit any like 80% of it, and then 80% of the work that you'll do in the future is only covering that 20%, which I feel is the case in competitive because a lot of it is learning your mindset, learning how you learn, all sorts of stuff with that. And then it's just kind of practice and having the knowledge that is domain specific.
I
Anyways,
use a similar comparison, but very fencing specific when I talk to people.
What were you?
Proceed. I don't need to talk.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
need to elaborate.
Let me wait. Hold on. Just for everybody who knows, Stingrays are currently it's 4-4 in their set.
They're
Back
doing
from
the
the
thing
4-2 deficit.
they're doing the thing that Neo Wave did to us. They're coming back from a 2-4 deficit.
So sorry, I'm looking at this. Y'all give up mid a little too easily when you're pressured.
I think maybe I might just have the wrong idea of what it means to play life. Because if I take a chunk of damage, I back up really fast if
Yeah,
I can.
I think it's kind of a question that I want you to ask yourself is when you're playing for life, it's not you need to live at all costs. It's more what is the value of my life able to get right now?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you die, you can still get as much value as is possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think maybe some days are just better than others. I think what was it? It was one of the last. I think it was during our Blood Moon set. I think I was doing better with that, but
Mhm.
not for this one.
Fair. I mean, I think the point out with playing life, because it's like this is how I see playing life. You're typically playing life because you want to hold a certain space. And the reason I pointed it out here is in this case, like what you're doing right now is you're making sure, okay, the enemy team can't get up to here. Ideally, I wish y'all were playing up to here, but that's personal.
Mhm.
No, that's not so much personal taste.
No, it's not
It kind of
personal. We should be there already.
Yeah, some of it is personal taste because if you're looking at just how to win the game of zones, you need to keep them off the hot zone. Like this is realistically the hot zone, which hi, yes, I'm stealing FLC's terms. I don't give a shit. Like you have to keep them off this area if you're trying to win. Um, Getting up to here is more so a bonus that helps your consistency, but you don't need to. But the reason I pointed out is a single Zuko comes onto you, right? And um, there's a major gap in your force. That's not even. I think what y'all are covering is like this. Everything behind this line. Like y'all give up so much space to that single Zuko. This is why I was saying y'all are giving up so much space. Because look in your case, Mako, like you can stay here. This is still relatively safe. Rainy, I think you can move to here. I understand why you're backing off. This makes sense. I'm not so sure what Brush is supposed to do here.
I chill. So I sit left side so then they can't drop left side.
Yeah, that
Or I
makes
sit right
sense.
side. So I kind of sit in that pit area so that they can't drop. And then if given the opportunity, you'll see it later. It actually comes into play later. I shark under that little ledge. So
Yeah, that
if
makes
I
sense.
can get there, I'll shark until they pass. Otherwise, I'm kind of playing in that pit area so that they can't drop.
Yeah,
That's about it.
just I'm not exactly
It
sure what Brush
sucks.
wants to do. Just like end of the day, y'all should not be giving up like a third of zone.
Yeah.
Like this is a non-insignificant amount of zone that you're giving up to a single Zuka shot.
Why is that other spot? Like I agree that I give up too much of the
So like,
of our
why is
space,
here?
but why is that
Mhm.
position better? Because I don't think that I have the time to get there.
Considering you were here, because you were here when they first popped Zuka, you could and you rotated back to here, which it's roughly the same distance.
But the difference is I'm like
No, I
if
get.
I committed to moving over to that left side over there, I'm moving into where they can shoot me with the Zuka.
Mhm. My
And I
main
don't
thing
want to
is,
gamble that.
if you move to like slightly over to the right side, they don't really have a good angle on you. And the big thing is, you can still apply force out this way.
Yeah, that's why like I would prefer to be there. I just don't know if it was too much of an option because as soon as they popped my shield, I have nothing. There's nothing in between that pillow and that wall that is preventing them from just shooting a Zuka at me. And I could be wrong, but like
No,
that time right there, I don't know if
no,
that's enough.
you could have, you absolutely could have, because you swam the same distance, and if you squid rolled, you would have been behind as they're just now shooting. Um, like I think you have the time. Like hell, this is even what I'd say, because I honestly think doing something to hamper this space is worth your life. Just chuck a mist out here and just accept if I die to Zuka, I die to Zuka. Because like I don't know. I'm boring. I have very different priorities and focuses, but like, end of the day, zone is what wins the game. Doing something to help your team hold zone, it just makes sense, in my opinion. Like, if you want to back off to here, that's fine. Just adding something to this, because there's two different ways. Like, you can check a mist, or you can rotate over to here. Either is fine. It's just you're giving up so much space, which lets them in. Like, you can notice from here, like, it doesn't play out in this exact fight, sure, but giving up that space kills your push. And I'm sure we're gonna notice it because you're so far back. Like, look at how far back you are now. Sam comes out, cool, it gets 2 kills. But, like, it didn't stop them from being able to just go forward here. I don't know. And some of what I'll say is it's personal taste and style. Like, learn what works for you. Because, like, if going to here works for you, cool. If the second you get Zuka, you want to just commit forward, cool, that's what I would do. If you want to back off and check a mist here, cool. Look, you have any number of options. It's adding force there and making sure it's harder for them to go forward. That's more so the end focus. If that makes any sense. Sorry, that's a...
I don't disagree with the reason behind it. I'm not a gambling man.
That's fine. Again,
And in a
play
scenario like
what
that,
works for
I
you.
don't know.
Like, play what works with your mindset. Don't... I am not the NLP. I'm not the authority on how to play or do something. Like, I'm more so pointing out, this is what I see, this is what I see has... Like, this is a play that I would say does not have so much risk to where I wouldn't recommend it to the average player. But if you don't like that much risk, don't do it. Like, how you play is personal. Like, again, do what works for you. Do what works for your team. That is all that matters. This is good. I want to point out this is very proactive of what y'all are trying to do. Like, I don't hate this shield. Like, I feel the shield's coming a little far back for my taste. But, like, it's proactive. You know you're going for elbow, and it's getting cleared. Like, immediately. And then this is good. Y'all are taking the space, working with it. VR comes online. That's fine. I feel like I'll take a second long on that. That's fine. Like, honestly, I think... What's up?
So I'm just coughing. I'm
Okay.
dying. Over.
That dually slidered, and then I didn't get the one shot on their slider landing.
It happens.
So
I'm not...
I was able to get away.
Again, not gonna comment. Just it is. Like... Yeah. Honestly, I think the big thing that I'd say is if y'all can... Like, I don't know how I feel about the VR seeing how it plays out. Obviously, this is with some hindsight bias. I don't know. It's not terrible. Y'all have the right idea here. I think execution's a little off, but who cares? You'll get better at execution with time. This is fine. Good at getting behind. That's fine. Good. I'm gonna point out just a spot because I feel this is something that can be... Because you know how I was talking about, like, at the very start of the review, Chai, Rainy, both of you working with each other and communicating to the other is helpful? This is a scenario for that. Because in this case, Rainy, your shield's so far back, you're using it to get in, right? In Chai is wanting to fight, but the rest of the team can't help. In this case, if you can call to Chai, like, hey, just stall for a second longer. In this case, like, Chai, you can know, okay, I can just peek, single flick, and draw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that in this scenario, Rainy, it might be better for you to move forwards a bit and
I
then
agree.
tent, but I should also maybe then play for you to be able to move forward because they all go back for me. We were talking about this in this set specifically. This team loved me. They would always go back for my flank, like at least 3 of them. And so it opens up the space to be able to go, but I feel like we need to like actually move up with that space and then push with it. You know what I mean? But I think also I need to call out that I have 3 people on me. And then we should go.
I can't disagree with that. More so, here's a scenario of the give and take that you two really need to have with calls. Because, like, unironically, I think for both of you, you have to get better calls than, like, the norm would expect. Just because of how you want to play with each other as a team. Because, look, in this scenario, it's not bad. Just if you're a little faster on this, I'm gonna be honest, I think you fully wipe their team. Because I'm just imagining if Chai was speaking like almost now. Eh. I do, yeah. It could have been a lot cleaner, but I'm not too worried about it. This is fine. I think y'all can probably put a little bit of force in different directions here, but I'm not too worried about it. Some of that is also personal taste. Just that right side is really weak for y'all. I've noticed.
Mhm.
This is fine. This is good. Good going in on this Makwa. Like, I wish you just committed forward on Pen here. I get why you go back, because it's, okay, I can help my teammate out here. Just in this case, the rest of your team can deal with it very easily. And you're the furthest one up, so it's easiest for you to just nuke Pen real quick.
Okay. Because, one of another thing that I kind of struggle with is that I feel as though I need to be very flexible when it comes to playing to where other teammates are. Like, I think I might be dwelling on this from other previous mod reviews, but if someone gets behind and Bogus is unable to get someone who's pushed behind, I need to be a person who rotates and kills them, or I need to be the person like it was in the zones umami game earlier, that I need to be one that goes back and helps deal with them. And I don't know. I think it's more. Like, I don't disagree with you that I should be going for the pen here, but I think just team fighting
I get you.
is what. Yeah.
This is what I'd say to
No.
that. Here, I can give mine real quick because it feels like you have something you want to say.
Yo, Rainy, what's up?
Star Cookie just lost in finals.
Right.
Oh, okay. So many people are playing that we know right now.
I say a few things. One, flexibility is helpful, but I also want you to recognize you're one of 3 people who can go back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say flexibility isn't good, but you're so flexible that you're not committing to anything, if that makes sense.
I see.
Like,
Yeah.
A jack of all trades is the master of none.
yeah, I was gonna say you're as flexible as paper, so when you're hitting them with paper. It's not doing much. The other thing I'd say, and this is my question with going back and some stuff with that, keep in mind I have insanely high risk tolerance. Do you trust your teammates?
To some extent,
Uh,
I
I
can.
trust Bogos.
I think everybody can trust Bogos, but I I I think to some extent, Chai, Rainy, and I all have weapons that can just turn into a wet noodle at any given point. So
but do you trust them? That is the question. Because like,
I trust my teammates to know that I'm not going to give a fuck about the person behind us.
You know what? I'll sometimes will if they're in my path. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few maps where I actually watch the flank. Like Barnacle Zones is one of them that I actually watch the flank. Or what's the other one? Inkblot Tower is another one that I watch the flank on. But like, other than that, yeah, I simply do
The
not give
lion
a
does not concern himself with the dapples that is behind him.
The line does not concern itself with the flanking dapples.
I mean, I don't disagree with the mindset of that, to be honest. But I also have my own biases. Like, the approach I'd give you on that, Mako, is if you know, hey, my teammate can at least get into a fight with this, and if you know Bogus is alive, just trust your teammates to win that fight. Like, I know it's a very hard thing to do, but it's just kind of the thing of playing with a team is you have the benefit of learn the fights that they do well in and the fights that they don't, so you can work with it.
I
'Cause, like,
think another thing is Makwa with stuff like the dapples going behind and rushing down Bogo so often, is that's also a give and take. It's just like, yeah, the pen's gonna be easier to kill, so like they get in and just kill the pen, but also they're not where they need to be to make sure that their team is winning their fights now, and we can just win that.
yeah, for every trade that they want to make, you have to accept that, and they trade something in return.
Mm-hmm.
It's very often just a free barter or free trade that is just fully positive for them. That is very rare.
John Brush.
People have noticed.
I like your point.
John
That's fine.
Brush.
Also, again, I'm sorry, y'all are killing me with how far back you're playing. I understand why, but you are giving up a lot of space, which just makes it harder to push and hold.
Mhm.
This is fine. Just, Yee. I don't know. This is personal
Bro.
taste, but adding something like a mist on their elbow, having some people in mid, like even if it's just like you have 3 people sharking in zone and a mist on elbow, that it just makes it easier for you to hold. Because I just see this scenario, and all I can imagine is we're just gonna pop Zuka and we're gonna pop Reef Slider and nuke your elbow, and like I don't feel that ends well for y'all.
Perhaps. I don't
I
remember what happens in this game, with the exception of I go crazy at, like, midway through.
that sounds about right.
I started doing the thing my coach tells me to do, and it worked. Which is crazy. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, crazy how that works. That's fine. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think y'all are playing well in in pairing up and not like relying on tent shield to get into and like halfway through zone. But I think y'all just stop after that. Like,
Mhm.
it feels like y'all have zero intent of, okay, we want to push into elbow. It just kind of feels like we have enough resources to get an elbow, maybe we'll take elbow. Compared to, hey, we're taking elbow, this is exactly why we're taking elbow.
This was a
Whatever.
particularly bad game for me. A lot of the time I do play looking at their elbow a lot more. I'm not saying this is like an excuse for it
Mhm.
or that I know for certain.
It just
But
is.
recently I've been playing with another team that doesn't work near or doesn't recognize stuff nearly as fast as Public Anemone does. And so I'm kind of going in alone a lot of the time, and with them I've kind of learned to pull back a little bit because then at least I'm not alone
Fair.
ever. And this has particularly been an issue on this map where I recognize like, hey, I should be looking and poking at their elbow, that choke point right now, and then I do that and I commit to it, and the rest of my team just doesn't recognize that this is something that can or should be happening in the moment, and I die. And that's conditioned me to not
Fair.
do that, which is an issue. I know that I should be doing it. Like, consciously, I know I should be over there, like, threatening my shield to go in there, like, putting toxic mists there, just my presence on the map. I consciously know that. It's I don't know.
I'll be honest, just simplify it for yourself so you aren't having to go back and forth. Just like play where the Bambrella is right now. Just play there, you can still shield into that. If your team is being slow, you just disengage, throw a mist, wait for your shield to regen and go back in. Like, there's multiple ways to do it. Like, I'm not saying you have to just bulldoze through elbow, especially if it's something that like on other teams is harder for you. But doing something to make your life easier would never really be a bad thing. At least in the Squid Game. Because I realize, yeah, saying that isn't quite accurate, because doing shit to make your life easier is not always a good thing.
Okay. That makes life
I
harder.
died
Never mind.
midair, bro.
That's fine. Yeah. I will point out here, if y'all notice, it feels very reactive to itself. Like, it ends up working, but I'm going to be honest, this feels like the enemy team just is more afraid to commit than you are.
Mhm.
Good going. This is perfect on your end, right?
What I did right, yeah, what I did right there was like the one thing that I agree with this entire game. Again, this game was a very bad game for me. What I did right there is the one thing I know I did right.
Look, all I'm saying is something that can genuinely be helpful. I know I'm pushing shieldless propaganda, but it's really helpful to learn to keep up your speed. Because you can have the mindset when you're playing with this team, hey, I'm going to play more shieldless compared to on other teams where it's okay, I'm going to use my shield more. Because you could just use shield to slow yourself down. I say that considering that's how I've balanced doing some stuff with pickups or whenever I'm playing or like subbing for teams. I don't even really ever do pickups. I just sub for teams mainly. Like, whenever I sub for teams, I just use shield more. And it's a way to check your pace. fine, good. This is good on your end, Mako, going forward. I like this. I honestly kind of just wish you committed, but that's fine. I get why. This is good. Yeah. I don't. This game just looks messy.
It was. This game was a mess.
Good, please tell me you throw it at the end of elbow and you just full commit. That's not terrible, actually. Good. Good Stamp. I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at this. I feel Stamp won this game more than you did. Or than y'all
Oh,
did.
just wait. Just wait. You won't believe what happens in about like a minute, maybe. I don't know. It's crazy.
Y'all coming two back. That's not ideal, but whatever. Good staying in there,
This-
Bogos. Like, unironically, you staying there slows their push.
Okay, here. I think it's here. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, no, it's not here yet. It's close.
That's fine. Good staying in.
Oh yeah, because they pushed to 10 or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is probably where you kick it in high gear. I'm just seeing how you're
Yeah, I
moving.
think so.
I think it's a bit later.
Yeah, it's a bit later.
I
It's
I
right
mean,
here.
yeah, it's about it. Yeah, you can see it on the map.
You're about to see it. You're about to see it.
again, I think it's here considering how you're moving. There are signs in your movement. Let me guess you shark it
Yeah,
and just
here
start
it is.
swinging.
Let's start
Yeah.
counting.
1, 2,
Two,
3,
This makes sense.
three.
Also,
Oh,
all I'm saying,
4.
you're
five.
literally just helping my point of saying someone needs to just hold right side. So I appreciate that. Good on saying it, Mark, but like this is good because if you notice, you're just stalling them from being able to just fully cap zone. I know you end up dying here, but I don't think this death is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. I shark
This
again.
is fine. Yeah,
only got
that makes
two.
sense. Recently, you just flank wide, honestly, and that works too. Yeah.
Hi, kitten.
I hated this set. The entire set I hated.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we hadn't scrimmed in like 3 weeks. So, like,
I haven't
Yeah,
played
that
since
would
last
do
scrim.
it.
yeah.
If we,
It's not-
the
nobody's
last
fault
2
in
weeks
our
were
own.
In fact,
really bad for our
I'm-
practice.
Yeah.
I am so fucking burnt out. It's unreal. Because I've had CCA and Ludi overlap, and I was in
Yeah.
charge of schedule for both of those. And then I also have New Inkland that's on Sunday that I've been practicing for with another team. And I'm still keeping up with turn left, and it's just really, I'm burnt out, and so I didn't want to play the game until this set happened.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Just I am commenting on what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyways,
So
That-
John's,
that
I
Katie
put the
hurts
John
my
notes
soul.
in the John chat.
that
so.
works. Yeah. Oh, perfect.
I guess I guess I'm not reading it because
makes
I'm
my
not
life easier.
John.
Yeah.
You will be a John soon.
I think
Aw.
the easiest advice that I can give y'all in short term is just really work on calls. Like if y'all want, I can try to play a game or two with calls and just like showing some stuff I would try to focus on with them. But it sounds like
Sorry,
y'all also
it's
have a
turf war.
good idea. That's fine. It's not my favorite thing ever, but I know how to do it.
You're gonna have to pay me for my time.
You're gonna have to pay me for my time.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, am I getting paid for my 2 hours?
True.
No, it's a one-way transaction.
Not
Yeah,
unless I feel like it.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say we can drag you into a scrim, but I don't think we're gonna scrim until what, May? We got some time.
That's whatever. You can also look at my channel where I'm gonna post this. I have a video talking about shit that I'd recommend with calling. I have a few videos and rambles.
Don't worry, May 1st, I'll just harass you. I'll be in your DMs.
Okay. Is there anything else y'all want to throw into the VOD, or am I good to go?
I think we got what was needed. I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I put some notes in our notes channel. Whoa, I just lost all my hearing. But I put all the notes in the notes channel. If you guys have anything else you want to add, I'll send it. It says John's in it, but but this is genuinely what I wrote down. Here you go.
Let's see. Oh.
Oh my god,
What's up?
I'm sorry. I'm watching back my POV from the Coalition set. It's so bad.
Don't worry, you're on tabletop, dog. We don't blame you.
There's
Sure.
not to cover most of the things. I think
Yeah.
as a whole, it's kind of just, if y'all can, like the one thing I'd say, just work on something with your calls. Like the easiest way that you can start, just go into Turf War for now, or go into Open whenever you have the chance, or in Sendoku, and just call what are you doing and what are you wanting to do and what do you want your team to do. Because those are kind of the three things of
Yeah.
a good call to me. Like, in that's also why I think information calls are helpful. Like, pen on their dome, I want to fight it, I'm going through right. Something like that that is you can act on. It shouldn't just be, okay, this is what I'm doing, no action after that. Because like on the
I think
first,
that's something. Yeah, I think I struggle with
I'm
that a
just
lot.
concerned with the amount of syllables.
Well, I think
I would
no,
actually, you know what? I think I would prefer maybe in our next scrim for Makwa to really like tell us what you want us
I
to
think-
do.
I think specifically me, because I think a lot of the times it is just reactive. I'm like doing that. I don't necessarily say I'm pushing up unless it's like, oh hey, it's 2 down, let's go. But like
Yeah,
that's
because
obvious.
I think that
That's not
especially
something
like
that everybody needs to be told.
yeah,
And
I
that
think
goes back
also
to
like
this.
especially since we want to play for you, I think it would be helpful for you to tell us what you need from us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I mentioned this before. It's just like I don't see myself in a leadership position, so I think that's part of that why I don't make.
Don't worry, we'll just do
calls,
the next
unfortunately.
like 5 scrims. Everybody muted but you. Lock
I
in,
s-
go.
I guess. I mean that would help. Like, I don't
literally
know,
though, it
but-
does work. Like, if that's what y'all want to do, it probably is one of the most impactful things you could do right now. Like, that shit is consistent and works. The one thing I will say with calls and that I'd encourage y'all to do, whenever you feel you have a day of good calls, save that VOD. And I say that because it's really
Well, you
easy
say
for
that as
your
if we
calls
don't
to
upload all our VODs to a
I
playlist.
know, but like, I don't
Yeah.
mean just like upload it. I mean save it and have it be, hey, this is our golden standard for calls. This is what we would consider good for our calls. And it's just because it's so
Hollow
easy
type example.
to fall out of calling at that level. I say that because like with PS, we've had such a struggle where we'd work on calls, get it to a really good standard, work on something else, and calls just drop really hard, and then we have to work them back up. And having that standard is just okay, we're working on something, we can listen to our comms back later. Oh, hey, our comms are worse than they are, and you can catch it before they drop to 0.
Oh, by the way, Chai, look at the other public anemone playlist. I made one for each of us individually.
Oh, did we?
Anyways,
79 videos on our team channel.
anything else y'all want to
Yeah.
add to the bottom? Am I good to kill it?
I
Um,
think
Can I have a minute made?
Take your time.
Okay,
Oh.
well, not any. What are your,
Wait.
I guess just random just discussion thing. What are your thoughts on just like V Blast compared to S Blast? I don't plan to play V Blast, but I just want to hear.
Do you enjoy V Blaster more than S Blast?
No. I mean, like, I do not plan to. I do not plan to like relearn V Blast, but like, do you
Learn
follow?
Blaster.
Do you follow how everyone else is talking about it at all? Like,
I know how
I've been feeling very inconsistent with this blast ever since I picked it up, and then the nerfs that haven't helped it. And I don't plan, but I don't want to switch to V Blast because I don't think it's the right answer to my problems.
see, I'm boring because I'm the person who has encouraged my team to play triple blaster paintbrush. Like, I'm not normal. If you find it fun, play it.
People think I'm a freak because I play Umbrella.
If you enjoy it, fucking play it. I was pushing V10 before they even touched back, and I was called insane. Like, if you like it, play it.
Me too. Me too. You're probably playing it well before I did because
I've played
all things
Swig in
considered,
comp,
I'm a
I've played
new-
Clash in comp, I've played Undercover in
Me
comp. Like, if you like it, play it. That's really the only thing that you have to ask yourself, in my opinion. If your team doesn't want you to play it, that's a different conversation. But
I'm in a situation where I want to play Tense and competitive because it is my favorite weapon, but it's so unsatisfying right now, and I know that a lot of that is just a skill issue. I'm not good enough on Tenebrella, but it sucks because I don't have as much skill on other weapons, but I'm able to do better on other weapons because they're just easier to get value out of. Like Splattershot. Splattershot's a fallback weapon for me because I'm really good at movement on Splattershot, and so I'm able to just get value out of it. And I don't think Tent's particularly good right now. There's just so much in the game that
Yeah, we can do a coaching session on some of that, because I don't fully agree, but I also understand where you're coming from on that. I'll be honest, from some of what you're talking about, it sounds like you just need a break from Tent. Because, yeah, no, Tent is one of the easier weapons to burn out on, I feel, because that shit is good as fuck, but it's also boring at times.
it's rough. It's a rough
It can
weapon.
be. It definitely can be.
I'm gonna stop my recording now.
Okay, I was about to ask, is there anything else y'all want in the VOD for the third time asking? I don't mind if there is, just...
I think I'm good if everybody else is.
I
I'm
wasn't.
tired.
I can think about stuff.
Me too.
Okay.
But thank you for the